Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, how I want to be with St. Kilda when the Saints go marching in. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, how I want to be with St. Kilda when the Saints go marching in.
Alright, we should be live. Alright, what is going on, everyone? Jacob Awesomeness here. Welcome back to another live stream on the channel. Hope you all are having a wonderful day today. Sorry I haven't been reading the chat when the stream was scheduled. I was just busy making my video, but my video is exporting right now. I also have a headache. A little bit of a bad one. So I'm gonna go ahead and just go in the shower and just stay in the shower for a little bit. Just try to get this headache away, but if you're on a new channel, make sure you guys subscribe, like, and have notifications turned on would be appreciated. I will also be reading the chat as well. Once I finish having a shower, but my video is exporting right now, so it's gonna be done in about 2 minutes or so. So hopefully it doesn't lag while I'm exporting, because I need to convert it to 1080p. So that's what I'm gonna be doing once it finishes exporting. But let me show you. I can't even speak today. Let me put in KO and show my display capture. And then I'm gonna go have a quick shower so I can get rid of this stupid headache. Because we're definitely gonna do it after the game, but hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully I can make it through. But I did sleep pretty well last night, so been talking to Alan, Jaden, and stuff like that. But let's see if we can get rid of this image. Alright, I'm gonna leave the footy on. I know the game starts in about 4 minutes or so, but
Charlie Kerner, how long
like
since
that.
you played, Nick?
761
You
days,
guys can hear the
Gary.
audio. I'm
Long
gonna have a
time
shower,
between drinks.
and I'll read the chat
Thank
when
you
I
very
come
much.
out.
Now, you got the mosh mic.
And
you know
yeah,
that is,
enjoy the
don't
footy,
you?
guys.
It's very important.
First
Yeah,
quarter.
I do.
Get a hold of it, and when you get a
I'll
hold
be
of it,
back
you got to tell us something
in
that's
5-10
illuminating.
minutes.
Yeah,
Just gonna
well,
stay in the
I
shower,
think the story
just
of the
get rid
game
of the
tonight
headache.
is going to be
Might
pretty much
just take care of
carrying
the
on the
chat.
theme for
What's
Carlton.
up, Diego?
Can
What's
they
up?
stop oppositions moving the
baby?
football? St Kilda
I'll be
have
back in
been
about 10 minutes,
really
so
good in this part of the game
gonna
over the
stay in the
past 6
shower.
weeks. Number 2 in the competition. And Carlton are right down the other end. They can't stop it. So
Last week was disastrous. They gave about 10 goals from back half.
So that was the issue last week, wasn't it? Yeah. So you can lose games of football, but it was a manner with which they lost last week. It was selective effort. There was no desperation. You showed some great stuff on the couch with just a lack of intensity.
Well, can we just put that on the table with 2 minutes 45 seconds to go? The intensity and how there's no crowd here, but on the scathing week that they've had, the Carlton Footy Club, their coaches under the pump, the reviews hanging over their head. This is their last chance. The big gun comes back in, Charlie. And then on the other hand, you've got the St Kilda Footy Club, who were there only a couple of weeks ago themselves, have found a little bit of form, but they've still got a chance. I mean, this is D-Day for both these.
Yeah, and you've got to know what's coming, particularly if you're Carlton, I think, because you know St Kilda moved the footy really well. We just saw the number there, 2 in the competition over the last month. So you can talk about system all you like. System is rendered useless, irrelevant, if you don't bring great effort to back it up. And last week it was nowhere. From that man included, the captain, some horrible defensive stuff.
What if you don't see it tonight? Is that as illuminating as anything else we're going to find if there's no response from Carlton?
We don't see it tonight. I feel for David T coaching next week.
Right. So is that important? So that's so
important.
we sit back here with a minute now to go, and that was, by the way, was thanks to Mosh Men's Health Made Easy. We sit here with a minute to go, and it is that simple. You need a response. Not necessarily the win, although the win's always nice to talk about the next day, but you need a response from your team. Eddie Betts said to us on Tuesday night on 360, that was embarrassing. We sat through the review.
They went through a brutal review of that third quarter.
And embarrassing, you describe it.
They need to respond, absolutely. That man needs to lead. The senior players are the players we're looking at for the 4 quarters tonight, Gary.
We will revisit them at half-time. It's a big night for who, Nick Revolt?
Well, I think the Carlton fitness staff tonight. 761 days between games for Charlie Curnow. A lot of questions this week as to why. Why this late in the season?
Do you have an issue with it?
I don't, because I think at some point you've got to find out about him. You've got to find out if his body can stand up. But if it doesn't, they're under big pressure.
You found out about him at VFL level? Argument for another day. Who's the big night for, Brownie?
Big night for Cal Wilkie. He's had a fantastic year, but I think you get the job on Charlie Curnow. There's nothing better than playing fresh, Gary.
Yes.
When you've got no expectations, especially if you're a big forward, you get one early, Callum Wilkie will get a little bit nervous. So let's watch for that matchup.
Who you got, Gary?
I got Tom DeConey. I thought it was going to be an even bigger night before Paddy Ryder was the late withdrawal. I thought he was going to have to front up against Paddy and Big Rowan. So he and Rowan Marshall going head-to-head. We know his backup's been Jack Silvani at times, so he's carrying a fair load. He's carrying a fair responsibility. They've got the big dog in the middle there. They've got Kennedy in there, who's been better over the last month or so. You expect Walsh to come in. Does anyone go to Walsh?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I look at a Luke Dunstan or maybe a Seb Ross, but good to see Kennedy and Cripps back in the centre square instead of playing full forward.
Dow in there as well. This is a lot on the line, boys. St Kilda versus Carlton. The loser out of contention will be back at half-time.
Let's get Friday night football underway. Stories everywhere as we get this ball bounced. De Koning parked under it. Marshall so important. Ross attempting to go off the ground. Jones dispossessed. Nunes against his old club hovers.
So straight away, Walsh runs straight up to the wing. Newman, who was on the wing, goes to half-back. So Saints be on alert for a Carlton mid spitting forward.
De Koning doing the work inside. Little clearing kick by Crouch along the ground inside 15. Wiedering just straight lined the ball and banged it back forward.
Looks like they're going to have Ross run with him.
Wide kick here. Good mark taken in by Burns. Been impressive. Burns, wide ball, Membry. So getting a couple of clean touches here early on the Saints. Kick inside. Here comes King on the lead. No problems. And he mentioned to Duck just a few moments ago how he likes to mark the ball at the highest point. Another good example of it there.
Absolutely, and nothing Wiedering could do about that. Wiedering was expecting that ball to go a little bit longer, just got caught, but when he runs and jumps like that, as a defender, there's nothing you can do.
Max King on the back of 6 last week against West Coast. A really good opportunity here from 30 metres. A little bit of angle about it, not a lot. Opening moments here. King, he's cleaned up this part of his game as well, and there's a really good example of it. Some really good examples, and that was one of them as well. But there's one from West Coast last week where he really is marking the ball at the optimum height, giving the defender less chance of ever being able to get there to spoil it. And he's gaining in confidence with every game.
So really good build-up for the Saints. And these last 5 weeks now, 15-4 from set shots. So he's clearly worked on that and nailing the shots that he should kick. Just on Wiedering, he had 7 kicked on him last week, Wiedering, so might be a little bit down on confidence as well.
Good start, St Kilda. Marshall again jumping into De Koning, ball ripped into the ground, steal. And Cripps, 2 midfield Bulls go at it. Jones went and found it ground level and then was worried out of it, and that's holding the ball. Kennedy. Advantage. They take advantage. Dow sticks it inside 50. And here's Big Harry.
This is what you wanted to see, JB. Big forwards marking.
Shootout.
Yep.
Perfect. Gets people watching their TV screens. When they can, they come piling into the stands.
Great to see the Coleman leaders board is full with 7 or 8 big forwards too, JB.
for Mackay's first, and the Blues first. That's the perfect start. The two big boys go to work, and of course Harry missing last week, but he's back and already having a big impact.
We just have a look at the centre bounce here for Carlton. Out of the right of the screen was Sam Walsh, who just sprinted up to the wing, and it created a 2-on-1, which allows the Carlton midfielders just to be really aggressive. You can go forward because Walsh is providing the cover. Newman's dropped back about 20 metres behind the ball. You can encourage that really fast ball movement from a stoppage.
Umpires tonight, Chris Donlan, Robert Finlay and Craig Fleer. Jones trying to track this one down, pursued by Dow. Kennedy hovering over the top. Let's get down to Abby. Medical subs tonight, Ab.
Yeah, BT for the Saints. We've got Cooper Sharman for the Blues. As you touched on, Mark Murphy comes in for game at 298 as the medical sub. And just recapping, Paddy Ryder a late out with Achilles soreness.
Thanks, Ab. Curnow. That was Ed. Both playing today. It's a rarity. 2019. Last time that happened. Little handball comes out here on this occasion to Clark, and Crouch involved. Clouded high here. The advantage is paid, and making the most of it is Zach Jones, but shoving it down the throat of Jones.
He goes into the middle, dangerous spot. Made to work almost by Walsh, not paid. Hunter Clark to centre half forward, no one home, read well by Wiedering. Newman floats a horrible one to the wing. Fisher's got to make it work, he did it nicely. Ed Curnow high. And nicely handled by Martin. Then taken in the tackle as he released the footy. Didn't work for the Blues at all. They try some overlap with Billings. Cripps in the right spot. Back to Walsh. Back to Dow. And now Silvani. They worked it well in the end.
What about the handball from Walsh in there?
Got their balance and shape really well around the contest here. St Kilda, Carlton, sorry, just enough numbers going to the contest, but Silvani just spits out at the bottom of the screen there. Finds some space inside forward 50.
Set shot for Jack Silvani. That's what this part of the game's looked like for him in 2021. That never had a chance. In fact, it won't have the trip either. Mackay had good purchase on the ball. Jones to bring it away. And Membry now has work to do. Walsh might have been taken high. Honey, kick smothered. And eventually some relief.
Yep, the Saints are able to knock it up into this neutral area here. Jones going at it with Hunter. Hunter, the late replacement for Paddy Ryder. Comes into the side today. So lively start. Looks like both sides looking to kick goals. Marshall to Koning there as well. Crouch on the bottom. He's got it wrapped up with Cripps. Spills free. Little handball by Kennedy. Nudged it out to Butler. And to Highmore, one of the players back into the side. The shrug. He'll need to get rid of it, Williams, and he did. Cripps was cool. Silvani, little right foot outside slider off the boot. Got it in there to Fisher. Fisher around the corner. Gee, that's a nice kick. Found Mackay. He wants to settle for the set shot. No, he's going to give it off in the middle. Misses Martin on the kick. And the intercept by Zach Jones.
Wide open to Jack Martin. Short to Marshall.
And that's the part of Mackay's game that will improve over time. Just that field kicking that he just has to get better at.
Stocker spilt the footy. It went to ground and Membry landed on top of it. So a ball up. Tom. Higgins and Cripps. Marshall tries to get the hands clear. Ed Curnow, difficult man to get out of a tackle.
Carlton. Up here. Now, everything now, please. Stand.
So he'll receive the free kick.
Play on.
He goes low and hard inside to his brother. Got hands to it, just couldn't hang on. Now we've got a scramble. Walsh around the body, doesn't miss. What a star this young man is. And if he had to add any part to his game, it was always going to be hitting the scoreboard, and he just keeps on doing it.
Well, one of the form players in the competition, I just don't understand. You can see there the Saints players, Ross, ball watched, didn't worry about Walsh. One of the, like I said, in form, you can't give him that much room. He just got sucked into the contest, and Walsh sat out far too easy.
Josh Honey in game 3 making that little handball to Walsh to set him up look easy. Did very well. Knock out of the middle. Kennedy, Marshall, partially smothered off the boot. There's collision in the middle. Stocker was on the bottom to Koning. Got it to Williamson. Caught the tackle. I reckon he tried to take him on and squeeze through there, and rightly penalised.
Let him up. Let him get the ball, please.
So Steele wants to get it and go, and he does. Gets an extra 5. Penetrating, beautiful kick to King on the lead. Boy, does he look sharp tonight.
He does, and really quick off the mark. Once again, Wiedering, as you look here, Wiedering gets a little bit of a block there. But look at the gap that he puts. Just a nice little block there. And look at the space that he was able to get. He's got good wheels when he gets out in the open like that.
Said he loves to play with the play in front of him so he can see what's going on. Present up to the footy. Almost the same shot as he had before here. And he's really got that part of the game working well. He's got a couple, the big man. (16-4) in the last 6 weeks.
King 2 at one end, BT, Mackay 1 at the other.
Yep.
Could we be set for the old-fashioned shootout?
Oh, I hope so. That's what we want. That's what should happen. Would be nice if it did. But JB, just on the back of 6 last week, right? Your confidence is high, and it does matter moving into the next game for key big forwards, particularly.
To see the Saints forwards coming together and working really well. Membry and Hunter, this is really important. He comes in the side. He's just got to play his role in the forward line. We know he can do the centre bounce work, but just keep Jones honest and come over and help out King, because, as we said, if he gets a couple of steps, he's impossible to stop on the lead because of his reach.
Good start for Max King. Bright start to this game. Steele, Billings, Kent. Broken out of his hands by Newman. And out of play. Chatting to Brett Ratton, boys, before the game, we get great access to the coaches, and he was talking about that forward 50 connection not being good enough in recent weeks. It looks good tonight.
It does.
Very generous with their time, the modern coaches. We really appreciate it. Marshall couldn't get the handball happening. Saad fans it to Nunes. Owies creating some space behind him. Long ball, it got past Honey. And Hill dragged it around just far enough for Curnow, who wobbles it into the pocket and now to play.
Oh, an awkward little slip there for Howard into the gutter.
Rowan and Harry.
4 straight, kick collectively here. Perfect conditions, roof closed. Part of the COVID protocols that the AFL are following strictly. At Curnow, handball to Cripps. Cripps around the corner, just misses left.
Curnow's had 6 touches already in this game, and he's trying to get to Brad Hill, because once Carlton get the footy, he's going to work Hill over and actually make him defend, so he can't go set up and be that overlap player.
Webster from Dunstan. Again, trying to be perfect with the exiting kick. Good hands. Martin gets it back from Dow. And a little low one misses. Owies was wide open, couldn't hang on. Wilkie.
Oh, he's gone, surely.
In real strife. No.
Oh, wow. I thought thought he pulled that back in. Tapped it back in, didn't tap it out. Thought it was pretty clear. Craig Clear thinks otherwise. So we move on. Ball pinging around in there. Eventually it was Connolly, got it around the corner, but defensively, Stock up against Butler. So they're pressing, there seems to be space, not this time though. St Kilda have guarded it well. All the space on the fat side here, can't penetrate with a kick enough there. Hill trying to get a one-hand Curnow. And Howard there hoping that it does go over the line, and eventually it does. There's Charlie Curnow, of course. Welcome back to football. Look forward to seeing how he goes tonight, what sort of time they play in for.
7-3 inside, so the territory battle's being won by Carlton early. Cripps, as always, drags 2 or 3 with him. But incorrect disposal. Ross is going to flick it to Webster. Billings, normally tidy by foot, but that wasn't. And the ball goes over. 25% is well under league average, so Ratton and the Saints will be looking to rectify that.
I think Rats just saw it on the screen then, JB.
He might have. Hunter, little one, Steele, ridden into the ground. Ball up.
It's not good
I'm
enough,
back.
is it?
Give me a second, guys. Move well quick, but you guys can still hear the audio.
For the Saints, DeConey wins to Walsh.
Walsh.
Walsh claims to Saad. Couldn't retrieve the footy.
And also highlights the kicking around the ground, BT. Doesn't matter as much as that one going inside 50.
Honey goes very, very wide here. Martin couldn't get control of it, then gives away the free as well.
Max back here to Jimmy.
So it'll go to the Saints, Jimmy Webster. Webster immediately high ball. That's going to do nothing for Kent. He'll just get absolutely crunched by Plowman, who was the second man up in that contest.
And that's all that's expected when you're outnumbered 3-1. You just have to make sure you don't get outmarked. So you did a good job then.
Worked out a Crouch, smothered off his boot. Burns,
and
free kick. I reckon it's going Max King's way here for a hole.
So,
what a start
let's
to this
see,
game for teammates.
Carlton winning by 1 point, but I think it's a free.
So that's interesting. I've given you 2 warnings.
To the area, please, guys. Thank you. Thanks, just stand there. Thank you.
St Kilda, so it's been long.
5 out, please.
By that, he probably meant just be careful.
Yeah,
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure.
So,
and that's fair enough. I like that.
that's a warning.
So, for 3 in a row for the Saints, for Max King,
Put his arm around it.
coming off the back of 6 last week. He is emerging before our eyes.
What's up, the baby? What's up,
Be
Chopper?
thinking with the umpiring side of that what's with the warning? If you see it, pay it.
No, but I think what he meant by the warning is I've told you before that you're going close to infringing. Be careful. I think that's what he meant by giving him a warning. Yeah.
We'll see the free kick again, and they've been paid all year. As soon as the arms go around, the umpire's been red hot on it. He's only standing 5 metres away, but they were just disorganised from the stoppage straight away, Carlton. They had 3 spare numbers on the wrong side, and none of them have dropped off to help Wiedering, which quick kick comes in, and you just panic, especially with a guy that size you're trying to defend.
No good pushing and shoving now, Jimmy. Do it when the ball comes.
Marshall, nice win. Butler the push off. Gets a look. Here it comes again. Wiedering this time uses the body well. Kent knocking the ball out of the hands, accidentally assuming the umpire.
Thank you.
Just the starting point of Wiedering, especially when the ball's coming in cleanly. I don't like him starting side by side. I'd rather see him in front a bit more. Low ball by Wiedering. Magnificent kick it was. Really Precision like to O'Brien. Now Dow on to Walsh. This is good Carlton play. High ball deep forward. Mackay couldn't get it. Off hands Owies. Overran it. Wilkie was always under pressure. Always under pressure. The handball to Silvani, and he happens to kick their third goal. Brilliant stuff from the Blues. Wow. Great foot use. And then some tenacious play up forward. Key ingredients as to why the Blues were able to kick their third. Good game. Fun watching. Carlton by a point.
Just super early getting there third here.
Well, it all comes from Wiedering's kick, Duck. He's willing to just be brave and take it up the middle. And you can see St Kilda defenders, they're just all in retreat mode. They're just backs to the kicker, and you're just scrambling from then on. You can't take best position, and Silvani gets a reward for kicking the goal by going into the ruck.
Is that a reward?
A nice assist from Honey too inside forward 50. So we saw a lot of this last week. Jack Silvani being sent inside.
It's a penalty, isn't it?
When De Koning has a break.
Jack Silvani going into the ruck.
Especially against Marshall, who is massive. He jumps high there. Dunstan, Jones. Connolly stepping on through nicely. Good turn of speed. And then pounds a long one. But it hasn't got the wheels. And Wiedering can fold off.
Yeah, wasn't a lot of thought gone into that kick, JB, from Connolly. Wiedering's had a couple of little wins.
And that's why sometimes when you're running through that area, BT, taking a bounce, he took his eyes off the players leading towards him.
Yeah, and then you're in a hurry to get rid of it.
Yep.
So now Billings centering ball. Here they come again. Long! Couldn't quite hang on. Wiedering in the thick of it again. Long extracts. Did well. Crouch likewise. Higgins got it off here. Little kick there by Clark. Brilliantly smothered by the Blues. They're on at the moment, the Blues. Fisher had to unload very, very quickly, and he did in the direction of Wilkie.
Had to wait for the bounce of the ball. Wilkie gets a hold.
St Kilda. Stand. Play on.
Squaring. Dunstan.
Play on. You.
They want to go quick, straight to the big man, but it doesn't get to him.
Kick.
Wiedering's taken a couple of nice defensive marks. After the early Max King blitz. Jones.
5 viewers.
Penetrating ball for Dow. Off a step, he hits Honey. Did not have to break stride. Now long for Owies, but that's not good. Out the full.
Looks good, Honey, doesn't he? Connolly. Dunstan and Connolly combining here. Wilkie. Game 60 for him. Very important part of the deep defence for the Saints. Marshall gets dragged up high and should mark, and will be paid the mark in the end.
St Kilda, stand.
Had to work hard to get to the spot there. Marshall was well done. Now this kick to King. Jones there for the big spoil, almost as long as the kick went. Wiedering handball back inside Kennedy now on the little left. This is a good ball to Nunes. He's manhandled by Wilkie, so free going Nunes' way. 60 from the northern Lockett into the ground here. The former Saint deep into the pocket. 2-on-1 is clear. Mackay almost got in the middle of them.
Throw it in. Might have been infringed there, Big Harry, but nothing doing.
Harry.
As the ball will be thrown in. Brought straight to ground. Ross is going to be surrounded here. Howard. High one. Oh, he doesn't go anywhere. Nunes came in. O'Brien got a little handball away. Play on. That hasn't gone far enough. Silvani's hands were good. Fisher. Wrapped up in the tackle, just releasing the ball. Webster might have been legged.
St Kilda, advantage.
He was, and they're away.
They are indeed. Crouch was immediately caught by Williamson. I thought the tackle might have been a little high. Umpire said it was okay. So we play on. attack the footy Membry. Went without it though. O'Brien to Dow. The ever-improving Dow. Little one at ground level. This is Connolly again. Some really good work through the traffic. And then Ross turned his back on the footy. Caught by Kennedy. Curno's there as well. Ball up. Centre square.
Showing some nice tricks, Connolly. Stepping through gaps that were hardly there. Nunes. Silvani. Clark drops it and then is dispossessed. Going with the one hand there, Jones. Honey floats a high one forward. Not really going to work for any of his forwards. Oh, he's maybe ground level. O'Brien, Nunes. Again, just sits a high one up. Was Mackay held? No whistle. Clark. Wilkie now with a bit of room. 2v2 ahead of him. It's thumped away from Marshall. Nunes again. Sard. And they float it again forward, but that's out of play.
So Webster free here at half-back. Immediately sideways to Wilkie.
Hold, stand.
This defensive unit here that we're seeing, led by this man here, or one of them, second best defence in the comp since round 11, conceding an average of just 68 points a game. Second only to the Cats' brilliant defence. And they're under pressure here at the moment. Fisher driven forward in the tackle. Umpire says play on as Clark comes out with the footy, and Dunstan now with the handball. They get moving through the midfield. Jones, nice linking handball wide to Kent. Now he goes over the top. He thought about the kick momentarily, put his mate under a little bit of pressure there. They turn it over. Wietering. Kennedy involved. There he is again. Got it back off. Silvani. Little grubble on the ground. Messing around with it here at the moment. Williamson found Kennedy. Stationary. Kicks the ball towards half forward. Almost marked by Wilkie. Taken off hands. O'Brien streaming through. Good ball to Mackay. Juggling attempt.
Front on contact.
And front on contact.
Straight back. I think you got the ball. No, you let it go, Harry. Back here, thanks, Dougal.
Trying to milk the
please
50.
Here, just here. Oh, that's not how I saw it. Dougal, you got to stand on the mark over here, please. One more metre across, Dougal.
Dougal Howard pleading his case, but he knows he's got this to look after as well, because Mackay is going to play on at some stage. He's only 10 metres out. Around on the left boot, and the big man. Gee, it's a real kick-off. Mackay's got 2 and King's got 3.
Let's go.
Lots of focus pre-match on this pair. 3 at one end, 2 at the other.
Good free kick, Robbie.
Geez, we used to see it a lot, didn't we, back in the day?
Yep.
Go and watch Dunstall and Lockett. And it would be 10 at one end, 11 at the other end. You couldn't take your eyes off it. It's a different game, we know, but these are 2 emerging stars.
And this is what happens when you win one of those 50-50 balls and you get through that line. Defenders obviously playing up in their zones, and that's how you can get an easy, well, mark, free kick, whatever. You're always going to get that one. You only have to step forward, a little bit of contact. But he looks on tonight.
They both do. Mackay 2, King 3. Dow held in.
Light ball. Thank you.
Most importantly for Blues fans, they've got the lead where it matters most. Steele. I think he might have been ripped high.
Light ball. Up and up.
Do it all again.
Ball, thank you. Let go.
Jones just gets slung out of there.
Ball. Here we go. Straight back.
Hunter, clean possession. Dow's been good. Cripps flicks the handball to Curnow.
Me.
Penetrating ball, just unable to hang on Mackay. Ball in. No, he's disappointed, did all the hard work. Dunstan to Steele. Had a brilliant season, Jack Steele. Higgins and Stocker. Stocker's got a couple to beat. Now they arrive in number Kent. A strong body, but unable to dispose of the ball. And the umpire looks closely.
Holding the ball.
Holding the ball.
Dragged it in.
Against Owings. And Steele emerges with it.
2 minutes remaining in the quarter. Players so aware of the clock these days. Don't want to risk it. This man's had a good first quarter. Lee Connolly. Neat ball here.
Stand. It's okay.
And Membry. Howard. So just a little bit of controlled footy here. That's a shocking, shocking kick. Oh, he's going to pounce on this. He could have gone all the way. Went backwards there to Curnow. And Charlie Curnow off one step.
Oh, what a goal. What a goal.
What a kick it was. I think he might have been just outside the 50 as well. Charlie Curnow, welcome back to footy.
That was a very good kick. Gotta give him credit.
And was that his first touch back? May have had one touch prior.
No, that was it, BT.
That was it.
And a good one too.
Well, points off turnover, Duck, is what all sides are wanting to try and achieve, but when the opposition just kicks it straight back to you, it makes it nice and easy. But Charlie Curnow, first touch of the game, flush, all set for a big one, BT, in his first one back.
Hunter Clark.
Well, yeah. We'll see how much he plays.
Always been an explosive athlete. That was good purchase from outside of the arc. It's going to be a recall bounce. So they've been a poor starting team, the Blues. Won just 5 of their 18 for the year. They've got away to a decent start tonight.
You're expecting him to play one out of the box, Jimmy?
Not quite, no.
Broken up in the air. Oh, nearly. Ball up. Dangerous tackle region for Big Hunter. Umpire throws it up quickly, which is always appreciated. Fisher. Now Hill. Higgins can't get it to the intended target. Still made it work. Crouch inside 50. Was he held? Marshall didn't matter. He takes the mark anyway.
Take it again.
A minute to go.
It's really important that they hit up these types of kicks because that then makes Jones accountable. So then Jones can't lay off and affect other key forwards up there. Very good at that.
Just into that deepest umpire again, talking to Jacob Wiedering. It's fascinating to me that as Marshall takes the set shot. They need it, the Saints. Is it coming back enough? No, it's just behind.
I know what you mean, JB, but I would always rather the umpire give something rather than nothing. Are you seeing something else in it?
I just heard him say again, I've had to warn you about the arm around. Old school would say just pay the fee if it's there.
Wiedering. I don't know about you, but I always liked a warning off mum or dad before.
10 seconds.
Yeah, ball out wide. Mackay, Howard, Jones. Running into his own man. Just a couple of seconds left. Final chance for a mark here by King. But free kick's going to go the Saints, so it'll be a King's free after the siren. I think King's claiming it. And umpire Donlan hasn't got any dispute with the fact that it's him.
He's holding his arm down. Mark's here. Can you please stand here? Stand the mark.
So Newman.
Okay, just here. Yep, so you've got to start inside
That's okay.
and make sure you kick over the man on the mark.
Yep. Thank you.
And there it is.
No freeze
So-
here. Fine, yep, just make sure you kick over the man on the mark.
So the umpire behind, making sure
Max
he
King.
runs in a relatively
shoot it from
straight
there.
line here, or at least kicks. The launch pad is in line with the man on the mark. He does that.
That's
and
a
he
bad
drags it way
kick.
left, so there'll be no score to add to the quarter-time margin. And we've got a good one. A couple of big forwards. A little bit of grumpiness from Newman as well.
Let's go.
King's kicking 3 in the first quarter. Mackay's got 2 at the other.
Alright, quarter time. Quarter time, my friends. Alright. my video is downloading, so an NEP, but that's quarter time, my friends. So show you guys the scoreboard. Here is the scoreboard. So we got Carlton winning by 12 points, so they're doing pretty good, Carlton. Let's see what the St. Kilda, do something, do some damage in the second quarter. Will be very, very interesting. Who you go for in the AFL? I go for Richmond, bro. Richmond. But I support every team, though. Alright. Are you gonna stream Collingwood? Who are they playing with? Let's see. Alright. Second quarter will be in 3 minutes. So, they are streaming, they are playing with West Coast. I do not know if I will be, but, I'll be streaming the Essendon and Sydney game. Be intense. I will be at the Gabba. Ship live. Alright. Got 2 minutes to go. My video is almost done. Uploading. Alright. I'm just waiting until the second quarter starts, guys. I just have to be careful with copyright. That's why I like exit it out. But I still have the tab open. Alright. Are you gonna stream Collingwood game? No, I won't be. Alright, give me 1 quick second. Second quarter will start in about a minute. Alright. Alright. Second quarter about to start, guys.
Last time we saw this man.
Hopefully this song
To see it on Friday night footy. It was spoken about at length during the week, and they have absolutely delivered in spades early. We'll compare them head to head here. Max King, I think all Saints supporters are very happy with what they've seen from him, but 3 goals early. And looking at Harry Mackay, he started strongly as well with 2, so plenty of action in the forward lines.
Marshall jumps over Silvani. They get a forward 50 entry. They've made these count so far, the Saints. They've been very efficient inside 50. The big man, Hunter puts the tackle on and we'll have a ball up.
Thank you. Liam, Paul. My ball.
Already up to 8 tackles, Steele.
Thank you.
In that first quarter, which is the most by any player this year.
No one actually touching the ball, just allowed to drop to the grass.
Talk about their efficiency. What's letting the Saints down at the moment? Crouch is going at 25% efficiency. Dunstan, 0 for his 8 possessions. Jones, 50% for his 7.
Holding Carlton.
Free kick is going to go the way of Jones, and some relief for the Blues defence.
It is indeed. Goes very, very wide to Silvani. Stands the mark.
That's those turnovers, Doug. Carlton scored 4 of their 5 goals off turnover.
Stand. Almost in front of the interchange gates there. Looks across, sees something he likes, but he's got to go backwards to achieve it. Not so sure about that. Weedering, especially if they can't play on from this mark here. And it was a contested one with Long, so in the end they get out of it, but wasn't ideal. Newman exploring. Hill, good hands. Webster gives it back out the back door. Highmore involved. Webster again. Billings back to Webster. Big chain of handballs happening here at the moment. The Saints, Long finds an opportunity with Membry. You'd have to kick it 50 metres, perhaps even a touch more from a very difficult angle. Tim Membry. Doing the normal forward thing and having a look around. Thought he was pretending, but no, slots it up and finds the skipper. Steele, top of the square. Here comes King. Jumps, almost got it on the second bite. Gee, it was close. He'd done all the top end aerial work. Very, very unlucky. In the meantime, Butler tries to extract. Williamson got hold of him. It was a good effort by the big man. Had it covered in the air, and the second grab couldn't quite get there.
Dunstan just can't drag it around far enough. Happy to you.
Yeah, JB, just an injury concern for the Blues early. Tom De Koning went down into the rooms at quarter time. He hasn't resurfaced yet. He did look to be in a fair bit of pain, though. So I am chasing an update on what the concern is, and I'll come back to you when I know more.
Structural worries for the Blues. If they lose him, then they only have Silvani against Marshall and Hunter. Inside 50 again. Long makes a contest. Membry.
Trying up the question, JB, would they risk Charlie Kerner? From my memory is they used to do that a bit before he got injured with him. Surely they wouldn't.
No, you couldn't.
Might make it just
First outing. That's just cruel. So all eyes on the bench for the Blues. Jones flicked to the back by Hunter. Butler on the up. Billings. Steele. Quick release to Ross.
Holding Carlton.
And a holding free will go the Blues' way.
Mark Murphy there, of course, looking to get the 298th game tonight. There's never been a player trapped on 298 or 299. Every club that's had a player in that position has got their star player to the line of 300. And it looks like Carlton are going to do the same thing with Mark Murphy. I think he was the medical sub who got activated early last week as well. Great news for him. So never has there been a player that's played 298 or 297. I think there were a couple from 297, I think. Wayne Campbell and Lenny Hayes for St Kilda played 297 only. Well, not only, but short of the 300.
Holding St Kilda.
Billings. Sneaky little ball. Good pass to Kent. Kent's a good hoik of the footy. He'll have no problems from here. Looking to play on, but I'd advise him to go back and slot it. Saints in desperate need.
15 gone. 15 gone.
Hasn't kicked the goal this year. He's in his 4th game. And a chance here from basically on the 50 line. Got a neat piece of it, but sent it offline. So just the minor score.
I think Anthony Stevens' BT was 292 or 293 or something like that. So there have been some that have been in that area, but when you get to the late 290s, got to get the player there, especially someone that's meant as much to their club as Mark Murphy's. Been through some really tough times with the Blues. Charlie Kerno mixes it up.
By the way, just to finish on that, if Hawkins and Hearn get to their 300, it'll be the most seasons we've ever had where 12 players have played their 300th games in the same season, JB.
My ball.
Ball not coming in.
And I think Hawkins and Hearn will definitely get there.
Mr. Koning down there, and it looks like an out-of-sight fitness test going on with him. Crouch absorbs the tackle, little inching kick to Cripps. He was wrapped up. Marshall went and found it, did pretty well to find the outside of the boot. Crouch keeps it in, Cripps comes at him. And the umpire's whistle.
Having said that about the 300 gamers, I think it was Brian Royal that played 199 games, 299 goals. A little bit unlucky, but not quite at the 300 game mark. Up down here to Kennedy, Silvani. High ball's one. In front of the interchange area here. Kerno didn't fear exploring that in the air. Fisher to Kerno. Handball was smothered. Jones now onto it. Fisher in the tackle. Little throw underneath. Wilkie got it off there to Crouch. He's caught stone cold by Ed Kerno. A lot of Kernos around the footy here.
50th time they've played together, the brothers.
Jack, stay back.
Long time between drinks, as we've been discussing. Neither team can get the ball out of this little channel in the interchange wing here at Marvel. Kennedy.
Stand. Come out.
Ball movement just slowed up a touch. Stocker just come on the ground.
Stand. Play on.
Pounds a long one. Marshall in from the side.
The man, Carlton.
And a free kick. Advantage paid. Walsh walks in, kicks his second. He is putting layers on this already amazing career, Sam Walsh.
He's adding the X factor. We all know he's a hard runner and a great competitor, JB, but he's now starting to add a little bit of X factor, a little bit of cream on the top.
Absolutely. Midfielders that can go forward and hit the scoreboard are liquid goals.
So we see a kick in here. It's just pretty casual defending here from St Kilda. Didn't really affect the contest. Spoiled. No one marking Walsh as he runs in. Kerno was free at the front and square. But the thing about Walsh is he's just a relentless outnumber player. He's work rate, but once he gets to those contests, he knows how to get in the vision of the guy who's got the ball. So he's always been able to break away from that initial bubble.
8th touch for Sam Walsh. Kicked a couple of goals. Jones to Steele. Advances the ball. Membry got to sit here. Knocked it away from Stocker. Long keeps it alive. Ross tackled by Dow. That was okay. And this is De Koning. What do you think, Abby? He's just come back out now.
Yeah, he's just been grabbing at that right pec area. So I think if it's not a pec, it might be some ribs, but I'll keep an eye on him.
Thank you, Abs. There is Highmore back into the side tonight. Highmore sends this one long ball there. They spoil each other off hands. Williamson did well, although the handball wasn't so good. Higgins got in underneath it and did well to make sure it didn't come out of defence.
Row it. Row it, Jack. Hold the meter.
To Koning. Sits it out as Marshall takes clean possession. And it really does expose the Blues if they can't get a ruckman up against Rowan Marshall.
Meter, please. Thank you. Who's up? Carlton.
Just pushes him out of the way. Long on the line. Battles on. Wiedering. End on end. Martin. Brilliant.
Stand. Thank you.
So they might just, as we saw then, let Jones do a bit of ruck work deep forward, and they've got a deep defender.
Stand.
A deep defender and a deep forward. They can share the ruck work with maybe to just even it out a bit. Newman. Wiedering. Good ball. Really good ball. Curnow did well to get back and keep it alive. Clark.
Throw it in.
Went out of bounds before that soccer, I think. So it'll come back a fair way here. Coning's still not happy, just talking to Jack Newnes there about what the issue is. He's sitting there like he might get a crack at it, but the doctor's almost guarding him, saying, no, I don't think you are. Honey there.
Holding, St Kilda. Luke Dunstan.
So Dunstan's free here. Just looking at the kick mark.
Thank you.
Sorry, the kick handball ratio. 8 handballs, 2 kicks for this man. He knows where his strengths lie. Kicks down the line. This time grabs a bit of meterage as Jones goes to the boundary. Higgins keeps it alive. Got it to Long. Shrugs off the tackle. And they do it again. High footy in there. Kent's in front. Crashing the pack. I think was Membry in amongst it all. Out Dow. Out the back door to Fisher.
It's got Martin spreading wide for him.
Stand.
Mackay comes at Martin. Offers him the outlet down the line. He wants to go on the 45. Good ball.
Stand, Paul.
Silvani. And he goes to Curnow. Owies gets out of the tackle. Smothered ball. Honey ahead of the footy. Picks it up. Kennedy will go for the Blues. That's 5 in a row. And this is starting to get worrying for the Saints. Last 3 of the first term and the first 2 of the second.
Goal assists for Honey. Have a look at this. I reckon he should have given it off here. Owies went for the kick. Look at the outside runner. That's Honey. Look who does give it off in the end. Completely selfless.
Here we go.
And away they go and score. A good lesson there.
Ready to go.
3 goal assists already for this young man who's got this incredible family history, BT. Old man, Commonwealth bronze in the pole vault. Mum, of course, Australian netballer. Sister plays for the Vixens.
Oh, yes. Very,
Uncle, silver medal behind Carl Lewis.
Very accomplished family.
Oh, yeah.
JB. Newnes. Dow. Just got the handball off. It falls to Hill. Jones back to Dunstan, looking a little confused about where they should go here right now. Hill's got it. Half back. Kick needs to be good. It is. It's a ripper to Kent.
Stand.
Has he got any overlap runners? Hurried the handball a little bit for Crouch. Able to recover it now. Higgins has got Zach Jones on. Probably could have hit him with the kick. I think Zach Jones was very disappointed. Went long to King and very wide, and Wiedering did well with the body.
I believe those of us that are a bit older, 37 years almost to the day, Gary Honey in that famous long jump final against Carl Lewis.
Yep.
1984 Olympics at LA.
Who was the greatest athlete of all time.
Incredible. Jones, Walsh, Dow, and now Crouch, Dunstan to a dangerous spot. King in front. Just a difficult ball to handle. Jones now. Burns and O'Brien. I think he might have walked it out.
What have you made of O'Brien's progression, Jimmy?
It's just more finding him a role in this Carlton side. They've used him as a half forward, pushed him up the wing. He's just got to, like a lot of players, you got to make the most of those disposals you get. You're not a big possession getter, but a kick inside forward 50, he needs to.
His kicking's not fantastic, is it?
He's got the technique. It must be a decision-making thing for him.
Okay, here he is, battling away. Dunstan, high to the top of the square. In fact, he's hooked it over his own head, out of bounds.
Back to the 9, back to the 9, back to the 9.
Shocker. So O'Brien.
I know my mic's on ass, but
The recipient here. Just caresses it down the line. Pushed away by Wilkie. Got the give and go back from Dunstan. He has never kicked a goal in his career. Here he is, almost. Got it to Jones. Wilkie's played 60 games, no goals, and it's still that way, JB. Every week I circle him, and I say, will he or won't he?
Chopped out. Now Jones gets a really good look, and he sticks it through. Gifted. Turnover in the Blues' back half. And the Saints needed it badly.
Well, both sides butchering the footy, their efficiency is way down, and there's another turnover there for that goal for Jones, much needed. But that's just a poor decision and poor execution of the skill.
Jack Nunes might have forgotten what jumper he had on.
Yeah.
Playing against his old team. They needed it. Broke a run of 5 in a row for the Blues. Marshall. Silvani did nicely. Fisher brings it away. That's a good mark to Highmore.
Stand.
As BT said, becoming a very important player for the Saints. Not when he kicks it like that. Connolly just. Their defensive group have grown really nicely in recent weeks, the Saints.
Stand.
Burns. Another talent that's emerging for them. Nice ball. Dougal Howard.
Stand. Play on.
Quick release. Connolly, they like him. Little dribbler. Made it tough for Crouch. Sard gets rid of Connolly. Cripps then.
Hello?
And O'Brien, does he keep it in just? To half forward, big Harry Mackay. Stretches out in front of Wilkie.
Back here, Callum. 1 more minute, Callum.
Got a couple already.
That was a nice kick inside forward 50 BT. That's what I was talking about. I think technically he's very sound, O'Brien. It's just making the right decisions. That was a nice flat kick. Sometimes when you've got the big forward, you can dump it on top of their head. Keep it nice and flat. It almost rules out the defender marking it.
For his third.
Is my mic well?
Mackay strikes it really well. It is beautiful. 3 on the night for Harry Mackay. Well, you wish for it, don't you? But you don't always get it. And that's the 2 forwards to go head to head. They still search for the answers around Tom de Koning. 3 for King at one end, 3 for Mackay at the other.
Got 7 minutes remaining, guys. My mic's loud. Just let me know. I'll turn it down.
There's no lead there. And the fact that O'Brien just waited for him to, once he got front spot, he just waited.
On a Discord call, my other account. So you guys
Abby,
can hear me.
I know you're down near de Koning. Can you hear any of that conversation that we can see there with the doctor and And
what's up, Fidget? How you doing, bro?
Yeah, plenty of conversations taking place, BT. He's been getting lots of work through that right pec area as well. But no movement from Mark Murphy, who is the medical substitute. So you would think that if there was any kind of inkling of him not being able to come back on, that Mark Murphy would look like he's getting more ready to enter into this contest.
It is amazing.
He's
been off for the entire 20 minutes. Whether, I don't know, Ab, I know you're all on top of it, but whether there could be a concussion involved, that's all I can think of as to the reason they've waited the 20 minutes.
I agree. It's quite a mystery at this point in time. As I said, plenty of discussions taking place. He's just taking a bit of a stroll with the physio and the doctor again now, and probably going to do some more work.
Is it strange that Murphy has no inclination to warm up, as you pointed out?
De Koning's heading straight back down the race now, boys.
Hill goes wide.
That's the nothing handball to Hill that I don't like, Jimmy, where he just runs around the back, ended up running himself into trouble. I know they want to get the ball to him, but and he is a good ball user when he has time and space to use it, but that one's just a nothing one.
You need him on the move, so his shoulders are almost square to their goals. If he gets it and he's actually behind the man on the mark, he can only really just kick it straight down the line anyway.
Hughes, Walsh, Williamson, through traffic, caught by Kraut Saab. The all-in-one handball while in air to the running Walsh with a magnificent kick to Martin. Martin dishes it off as well. Here's O'Brien with the kicking again, and it's beautiful to Mackay, and he sets up his fourth goal. Mackay's got three. Beautiful O'Brien ball inside. And Mackay, probably the easiest of them all.
Yeah, you had all the Saints defenders thinking they're going to go long, going to go long. They're all goal side, and that's why it's so important just to lower your eyes. That's a good kick.
At 52, going into tonight's game, and he can now add 4 more to that tally.
Fix it. Go.
Oh, the big man's up and about. He's getting some nice service.
So thank you for not doing very good, guys.
And he's not letting them down. He's kicked incredibly accurately. In fact, does he kick 4 straight or did he miss 1? He has been superb tonight.
6 minutes remaining.
Mackay, 4 straight.
Yep.
Diego is very upset.
Such a great kick, and it comes from back here from Walsh. You take the ball off the line, and defenders quickly want to get on the outside.
Diego's
it's a new way of defending. Actually defend the outside because this is such a hard kick. And O'Brien looked up and he saw Wilkie on the outside, thought his way through it. Carlton teammates back inside the corridor.
So there's urgency required now for the Saints. This is a decent break for Carlton. Long ball again going forward. Always keeps his feet. Cripps, Hill did well. Not sure how that was disposed of. It works though for Steele. Dunstan and Sard with him.
Just finishing that point on the modern way to defend. They get the outside, so use the boundary line as a defender. You cover the space, and then you're relying on your teammates to come behind you across the corridor. So it's called, 1+ half defence.
Clearly the issues with De Koning continue. There's Walsh again to half forward with a long one. Cripps, one out. Mackay at the back. Won't quite get to him. Wilkie released it to Hill. Hunter Clark, so much time, steps through and finds Jones.
What's it called, Jimmy? 1+ half defence.
Yeah, so you get your extra from the teammate coming across.
Oh boy,
you don't like that?
It's a very technical term, and I like that you know it. That's what I do like. Hard to get one past Jimmy Bartell. Connolly. 5 minutes remaining in the half. Goes down the line. A little bit of safety. Marshall in front, Kraut kept the arms free, got it to Jones, brilliant play. Thought about the handball, went the kick into King and Wiedering the double fist away. And has done reasonably okay despite the fact that King's kicked 3.
They definitely fought back after the quick 3.
Has not accessed the share in this quarter, King, so he's done very well. Fisher Stuck it wide for Jones, who went to ground. Dunstan picked it up. Steps on through. Bullets one in search of Marshall. Can't find him. Higgins. Great vision. Steele.
The crowd want him to kick it, JB.
That's what's ahead of him. They need it. 5 goals down or as good as.
15 gone. 15 gone.
Jack Steele. Never, ever got that on track. In fact, out of bounds on the full.
So Brett Ratton, perhaps a little frustrated. It's been a 4-goal-to-1 quarter for the Blues. Hasn't been a lot of fluency about the way St Kilda have gone about it. Whereas for the Blues, they've had some really nice passages they've put together. There's Newman. Looking for Plowman. Already had the arms taken back then. Dunstan just keeps it alive for himself, then trying to sneak into Membry. Williamson went without it. Membry. Dunstan again. Ran out of space. Didn't want to give it away. There's Plowman wanted the free.
Hold the meter.
Silvani, the undersized Silvani, De Koning still in the rooms. It's remarkable that Mark Murphy is not warming up, and De Koning hasn't been seen for the entire 26 minutes of the quarter.
There's Mark Murphy. Made themselves hard to score against the Blues in this term, Jimmy. Really only a horrible turnover handed Zach Jones the only goal they've kicked. It's been a criticism of them for much of the year that they've been too easily scored against, but work that out in this second quarter here, Carlton. Sits a high one here for King. Got pushed out of it. To the back, and Marshall dribbles one through. Very, very necessary. Big Rowan Marshall. When it was starting to look worrying for the Saints, drags it back to 22 points.
If they can clean up their efficiency, the Saints, they're still in this game. But as you can see, their focus on Max King. So all the focus on him, and the ball gets over the back, which you don't want as a defence. That's too easy.
Oh, boy. Holler for a Marshall. That's what I say. And Murphy finally putting the boots on, getting out of the runners. Amazing. It's been all quarter that we haven't seen De Koning. Hasn't been ready to go. I'm not sure whether he was told not to bother. Silvani, don't know. It's a mystery, as Abby has told us. Inside to Mackay. Howard out the back door to Webster. 2.5 remaining here. Can't afford to concede one here, the Saints. Butler with the tackle. Then had to go and win it off Ed Curnow. Not an easy thing to do. Connolly's got it wrapped up in the Fisher tackle. Fisher's caught him cold. No free. Forthcoming. 2:21. Carlton by 22.
Marshall dribbles a little handball that went nowhere. They get it to half forward. King been quiet after an electric start. Flicked the handball back only as far as Newman. His kick partially smothered. Good pickup from Silvani. Newman again. No one home wearing the Blues jumper. Webster able to control that pretty easily. To Hunter Clark. Hill presents for him. Long in search of King. He's got 2 to beat in the air. Got good hands to it. Ground level now, Butler. He's got players ahead of him. Marshall, one of them, finds him by hand. Marshall just thumps it inside 50. Jones in front, unable to control it. Can the Saints conjure something ground level? Ball up.
Billings had to commit then, and he did.
Centre, please.
So they've got it locked in their forward end with a minute 18 remaining in the half.
Jack, Rowan.
Umpire Flair looking for the ruckman. One of those, Silvani, the other Marshall, Clark. Might have been Steele, in fact, it was, to the boundary. So 1 minute, 10 seconds. 22-point Carlton lead here. Big opportunity for the Saints.
An area of the ground they should dominate with no ruckman for the Blues. Marshall to Steele. Tried to walk through the tackle. Jones. A little fumble. Ball up. Repeat stoppages inside 50.
Love to see the Saints open it up here. You touched on the massive advantage they've got. Just create a bit more space.
Thumped forward by Marshall. Long. And then Nunes just had to hack it out of there. Dougal Howard beyond him. Numbers here with the Saints, although Webster had a fumble. Does it open up now for Honey? His hands were good. Fishes out the back with good wheels. Ball bounces for him. Take all the space. Has a bounce. And then sideways with the boot. That is fantastic. Williamson.
It's a good kick, running at full pace outside of your boot. Good vision.
This will hurt St Kilda on the siren of half-time.
15 gone.
Make it a 5-goal-to-2 second term for Carlton. And the siren will sound as he's on the way in. What's Williamson got? It is there. Big finish to the half for the Blues.
You give me accuracy, I'll give you a victory. 10 goals won, if you don't mind, at half-time here to the Carlton Footy Club. So what's that? The margin's out to 28 points against, it has to be said, a very disappointing St Kilda Footy Club. Some lots of numbers that they'll enjoy looking at there after a pretty deplorable, well, it was worse than that last week, the Carlton Footy Club. And Nick Revolt, Jonathan Brown, we put it on this footy side just prior to the bounce to see what sort of a response we'd get tonight. And I think we found it. I think they've absolutely come out here and ticked a few boxes.
I was present last week for their game against North Melbourne when they embarrassed themselves in that third quarter. Tonight, we spoke about the response. What sort of response we're getting? Well, we got their best of the season. The highest pressure, they're over 200 for the half, which is magnificent. That's a huge number for any team in the competition.
It's just me saying I'm going to you next. Friday night footy, thanks to Drum and Golf. 42% their goal kicking accuracy the last 6 weeks. Tonight they come out and kick 10 goals. One makes a difference.
Makes a massive difference. But they were getting good shots on goal. Yeah. So if you can turn the footy over and then go back at the opposition, which is something they haven't been able to do that. They haven't been able to find a way to get the ball back off the opposition historically this year. They've been terrible at it. And when you do that, you're in a really good position. You get really good looks going back the other way. OK,
so talk me through how things change in the space of 7 days. It was a procession out of Carlton's back half. You could score against them at will last week. And then we come to tonight and all of a sudden St Kilda find it very, very difficult to move the footy.
They're not robots, Gary. It's a human game. It's all about emotion, especially when the empty grandstand is there.
I'd rather the robot on the left than the one on the right.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a look at that. Points conceded from D50 last week. So North Melbourne just waltzed their way from end to end against Carlton. Big win. And look at their pressure, 166. That's well and truly below AFL average, 211 tonight. Well above average. So that's exceptional, actually.
The pressure you can control, and then on the back of that, you say they can't move the footy, Nick. So then you go, righto, what have they done? Have they gone to a zone defence or have they put it on them to have some ownership of their opponents?
Yeah, so you asked the question why. Well, why do Carlton look so much better defensively tonight? Well, I think it's pretty simple. David Teague has said, OK, boys, let's blow up a bit of the system. So we've seen a zone. If you look there, it's just one-on-one contest in front of the ball. And what that says is, OK, boys, we're going to go one-on-one and we're going to defend.
Simple.
And you can't hide now in a zone.
Ownership.
And so I'm going to work out pretty quickly the guys that want to defend and the guys that want to be lazy and hand over at times and zone off. So what that means is you can't move the football as easily. You can't just chip it around and find easy little marks in the zone, which means you get into a contest more, which means we've got an ability to put more pressure on. So I think they changed it up somewhat, but they bought into it. So the attitude and the effort was the thing that changed the most.
And in our experience, Rui, that is usually the lever that a coach will pull when he wants effort or he wants to simplify a defensive game style, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And in our experience, one-on-one was the way we played back in the old days.
Every week.
Not just letting blokes run around whatever the hell they wanted. That's all thanks to Zero, of course, which is great.
Yep.
Hey, we thought at one stage we were going to see Salmon and Lockett. The shootout was on. It was King and Mackay.
Well, that can be the flip side, though. When you go to one-on-one, well, then all of a sudden your defenders can be isolated one-on-one, and we saw a little bit of that early in the contest.
Yeah, the marks on the lead were up too high, but that's you've got to give something away, and you give away some protective space in front, and all of a sudden, Harry Mackay first up. This is where that was more for Max Hinkey. I mean, he was in very, very good form. We love seeing Charlie Curnow back out there. They look him more imposing.
He would love it as well. This is a magnificent set shot of goal. He does like the longer ones, Gary. No chance to snap the ball around the corner there, but he's got four.
What about that hitter?
Yeah, it's a beautiful one from Lockie O'Brien. He's actually had a pretty good game so far coming back in. So, been great to see Harry Mackay, who'd be loving having his wingman Charlie Curnow out there, just to take a little bit of defensive attention away from
No doubt about it.
It's a fascinating study tonight, the evolution of the game, the two full forwards. So, retro round, we've looked back at the 90s and the great full forwards kicking tons. 6'2", 6'3" sort of size. Yeah. These blokes are both 200 plus.
Yeah. And run 10.5 seconds, 11 seconds. So, you talk about the zone, so Max King looks up and all of a sudden you've got a little bit of space to work in early in the piece, and his match-up with Wiedering was going to be pivotal. But, the leading zone opened up, the leading lane opened up for him a little bit, but as you said, you sacrifice a little bit of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these two first kicks that Max King was able to get on the end of, I'm not sure there was much Jacob Wiedering really could have done. He panicked here because he had the 2 goals kicked against him.
Can I just ask you about this? The umpire has warned Jacob. He said, I warned you a couple of times about the hands around. Now, in the end, Wiedering got on top by half-time. He started taking intercept marks at will and intercept possessions at will, aided by some horrible kicking inside 50 from Connolly. But what are your thoughts on the umpire saying, I've warned you a couple of times about the arms around?
I think it's good umpiring, Gary. To be honest, if we umpired to the letter of the law, there'd be 100 free kicks behind play, especially those big men contesting and all that. So I think the umpires just directing them and guiding them is better than just playing these willy-nilly free kicks behind the play.
Well, Wiedering fought back really strongly. That's the sign of a player with really good resilience, I think, because he looked early like he was going to have a big bag.
On the back of 7 kicked on him last week.
Yeah.
So we asked the question, do you give him a little chop out maybe? But they've stuck with him and he's been great.
Kudos to David Teague and the coaching staff. He's got plenty of wax this week, David Teague, but well done. They held their nerve and Wiedering delivered. Sam Walsh, making a late run for the Brownlow medal.
Highest rated player on the ground by a mile.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. But have a look at this. Getting tagged tonight by Seb Ross, we spoke about pre-game. That's too much space to be giving to Sammy Walsh in his front half. You know he's a great runner. I want to be beside him. He's going to outrun you all night long, so don't give him 20 metres head start, especially when it's in his team's forward line. They just waltzed in. That goes back to a little bit of that intent that we spoke about. St Kilda, I'm not sure they're quite on tonight. Now, whether that trip back from Perth last week's just knocked a bit of fuel out of them.
Just to highlight that running ability, Seb Ross is a sub 10-minute 3K'er, so he can run.
Yeah. So 2 goals for Walsh, 1 to Kennedy, some goals from the midfield there. Yeah. Kath Loughlin's out the ground for the first time tonight. Kath, getting dominated they are in their hit-outs, but they've got no ruckman. Where's Tom De Koning going?
Yeah, bizarre scenes. It appears to be a right pec issue, but he didn't play a second of that second quarter. He was down in the change rooms, came back out, did a few run-throughs, went back down into the change rooms. All this while, Mark Murphy was sitting on the bench as the medical sub and did not move a muscle. He was quite comfortable in his tracksuits, so he did put the boots on with about 2 minutes to go, but still no official word out of Carlton. But, yeah, we do believe it's a right pec issue, and we'll see what happens after half-time.
Good on you, Kath. Thanks for that. We'll keep a close eye on it. They've got the ruck advantage. They've got to take advantage of it. They're not doing that at the moment. Boys, more from you in a moment. Let's get to Sportsbet.
Yeah, thanks, Gaz. The Kangaroos got a lot going for them at the moment. Their young midfield is starring. They lose Ben Cunnington, but this is their last 7 weeks. Now, they play in Blundstone, so they play down in Tasmania. They like playing against the Cats. The Cats are the best in it. But their last 7 weeks, starting with a draw against the Giants, has been very good. They've lost to some very good sides in there and won the games that you probably think they should win, and they're going okay. A great win against the West Coast Eagles. Now, talk about the line at the moment, and it was 31 at the start of the week. Ben Cunnington goes out, and now it is 6 goals. So that line for me is very, very interesting for the Kangaroos. Good luck for your punting and gamble responsibly.
You're watching Friday Night Footy on Fox. Halftime brought to you by Drummond Golf.
Here he is, the statue of Davo.
Rig was in pretty good nick back then, mate.
Well, I sat on the bench for first grade that year.
Oi, guys, it's the lost keys of the Airbnb.
Hold up. Did you guys pay me back for that?
From when we won the quaddie on Caulfield Cup Day.
Yep, I remember I gave it all back and then some.
Have you ever got carried away on the punt? Take a sec before you bet. Set a deposit limit, whoever you bet with.
Loki, you're in a lot of trouble.
What do you want from me?
Come on, sit down. Our timeline is in chaos. And you need the god of mischief to help.
Loki is unpredictable.
I know what I am. Good. Bad. Bit of both.
Loki, all episodes now streaming exclusively on Disney+.
You don't have to spend a fortune for your home to look amazing, to look like it's come out of a magazine. When you see the range and you see the styles, you wouldn't think that was in your reach, and now it is.
Everyone wants a designer look, and that's what you can do here at Bunnings. You can get the look, the design, the style that you want from us. You can basically come in on a budget and be able to transform your home.
Have a look at the website. We're always here to help and answer those questions that you might have with that project.
Bunnings Warehouse.
Shop at Bunnings wherever you are, whenever you want.
Only in the 90s.
Only in the 90s did a full forward have the licence to jump on heads.
He's played it!
What about Tony Modra?
Modra at the back.
We're all getting carried away about Mods' high marks. But what about 129 goals in his first full season?
I think he's got it. Well done, Anthony Modra.
Well, if we're going to talk bags of goals, you cannot go past Plugger.
Saints in front by a point.
What about how he terrorised Noel Kenny behind the goals? Geez, I'm glad he was up the other end.
You know what that says, Sydney fans? Plugger Lockett has the last word.
And then there's the duck. How good was Friday night footy? Sit back and just watch the duck dominate.
Outside 50. Great kick. Scores another.
Well, that's what captains have got to do. Play Friday night, light swim Saturday morning, next commitment Monday 4 p.m. I mean, that's 72 hours.
Carey shoots for goals. I love the way Duck could just dominate Friday nights at the G. Then I reckon the Shinboners have a bit of fun on the weekend as well.
Brownie, you wouldn't know the half of it.
Very efficient.
Wayne in the 90s, it was a one-man football club. He played well, we won. He was doing commercials, he was the room man, he was everywhere.
Carey from 35 gets the goal. The consummate professional that he is.
Dennis always did individual reviews after the game. He'd go around the room, move from player to player. You did this wrong, son. You pulled out. You ducked your head. You got to work on this. Haven't seen you do extras. Wayne, fantastic again, son. Nothing changes.
Pretty well spot on. I think Kingy, the big duck, was a player of the 90s. I think there's no question. Some great highlights, great full forwards there. I know you want to talk about St Kilda in a moment, so let's go to Johnny Ralph in the newsroom first and get some news on the round 21 fixture, Ralphie.
Hello, guys. It has literally dropped in the last couple of seconds. So 35 home and away games to go. It looks like this season, at least the home and away season, will very much get done. So here it is. Essendon has been handed its third Friday night contest in 6 games. So they take on the Western Bulldogs. You think they probably need to win that one on Friday night to keep their hopes alive. Now, Collingwood travels to Tasmania to take on Hawthorn on Sunday. They play in that state for the first time for premiership points. Now, the South Australian showdown is not yet officially confirmed confirmed at Adelaide Oval. Everyone expects that to be the case, though. Just needs to tick off from South Australian Health. So that will be a Saturday night contest at 7:10 local time. So the opening of those Queensland and Tasmanian pathways this weekend means there's absolutely a viable pathway for the season to get done, not before time. Now, Fremantle, bizarre story this one, Gary. They can expect a significant fine, you would think, from the AFL if a couple of COVID breaches over in WA are proved, one including Josh Carr, their assistant coach. The Dockers got back into Perth on Sunday. They were to quarantine at home for 14 days. So the police made a routine check of Josh Carr, knocked on his door on Wednesday. Josh was nowhere to be seen. He's been stood down by the Dockers for the next couple of weeks. The AFL integrity team is investigating. Now, first-year player Brandon Walker, he was fined. He admitted that he just went out for a walk with his dog. Now, he's been smacked over the wrist, but clearly Josh Carr should know better. The precedent is Adelaide. Now, they were fined $50,000, all of it as part of their soft cap after, some players didn't wear masks on a flight back to Adelaide. So clearly the AFL will wait until the police investigate that one. But if it's a blatant breach, you'd expect that they would get a similar fine in their soft cap.
All right, Ralphie, we'll talk to you after the game with Ring It Ralph. That is all thanks to Drummond Golf, of course. Righto, boys. 28 points of margin, season on the line. We said this just before the bounce. So much at stake. So from a St Kilda point of view, Rui, pressure comes, heat comes, season high from the Carlton, inability to handle that heat. We spoke about know what's coming your way. They had to know there was going to be a response.
Did you not expect it?
Yeah.
Did you not expect Carlton to bring a response tonight? Because if you didn't, well then you were negligent in your preparation because they were always going to do it. And guess what? If they don't, and you're still prepared for it, then it's a bonus. But at the moment, St Kilda, 55% kicking efficiency, second worst of the year. So they've just not handled the heat that Carlton have brought, which will invite the criticism. Unless they're able to turn it around in the second half, well then a season that a lot of people have labelled the most disappointing of 2021.
It's a chance here to redeem themselves.
A chance. You're in the 8 tonight if you can get across the line. So, you know, some of the stuff that we've seen in the first half, you would expect Brett Ratton would be tearing paint off the walls at the moment.
On the flip side, Rui, Carlton, they can't take their foot off the pedal. So they've kicked 10 goals, won, which is incredible accuracy. Be surprised if they can do that in the second half. Also, St Kilda are plus 18 in contested football. So if Carlton's pressure just drops off by 10%, St Kilda will get well and truly back into the game. That would be the message from David Teague, I think, and remind them, boys, what happened last week in the third quarter? We can't allow that to happen again.
It's a great point. Plus 18 contested footy. So the message for Carlton is really simple. Lots of footy coming up here on Fox Footy over a very big weekend and a very busy weekend in sport it is. Whoa, down to Ballarat for the Adelaide Crows as they take on the top of the table Western Bulldogs. Bring the long sleever out. And a very good Kangaroos and improving Kangaroos take on the Cats. A big day right here tomorrow on Fox Footy.
Carey's kick around the body is a beauty.
Let's not just say how exciting sport is, let's show it.
Ladbrokes is now offering same-game multi on over 20 sports, giving you access to more games and international markets than ever before. Make these games even more exciting. Ladbroke it with a same-game multi.
That was some fine Ladbroking it there. Wipe her down, will you?
Don't let the game play you. Stay in control. Gamble responsibly.
Tonight, I'll be... Shh, Leighton Hewitt. Tonight, I'll be eating chili pesto gnocchi, garlic bread, and a chocolate mousse.
Chances are you could probably do with a holiday right now. Well, start packing. Because with a new NAB Qantas Rewards signature card, you could go to Cairns or Hobart or Broome and beyond. There's a destination waiting for you with 110,000 bonus Qantas points on a new NAB Qantas Rewards signature card. Turn your card into a well-deserved holiday. Apply now. NAB. More than money.
A little goes a long way at Macca's. Treat yourself to a hot apple or custard pie for just $1.50 or a chicken and cheeseburger for $4. Part of our best ever loose change menu.
What's about to happen right now only happens about once every million years. We are going to Ladbroke the action.
We're not going to stop there. Let's Ladbroke this office party!
What about Mr. Stripey Face? Mr. Stripey Face needs to be Ladbroke, doesn't he? The sports bar. I think there's only one thing left to do. Let's Ladbroke!
Don't let the game play you. Stay in control. Gamble responsibly.
You're watching Friday Night Footy on Fox. Halftime brought to you by Drummond Golf.
He's back out there. It was always going to be the big storyline of tonight's game, and that is Charlie Curnow. After more than 2 years out of the game, he slammed one through in the first quarter. The celebrations were sensational. The joy on the face of David Teague. He hasn't found a heap of it, but just having him out there has been a joy for the Carlton Footy Club. So, and look at him. He's enjoying himself, and that is good to see, as they say. Good for football. The interesting one, De Koning came off the ground. Kath Lockman told us with some sort of a sternum injury. He was off for the whole quarter, and yet Mark Murphy wasn't activated. I guess they had to be sure, given that the run stocks are low.
That's right. I think considering the fact that if it's not him, it's then Silvani up against Marshall. Mind you, Marshall's got his hand at plenty, but they haven't got any sort of dominance. And Silvani's been awesome around the ground. He's found plenty of it.
He's had a good year, Silvani. He's done a tremendous job there playing in the ruck as the backup ruckman, but they need to exploit that more. Hunter and Marshall to go against them, so all the best to Mark Murphy. He came on last week as well, so he's the super sub, Gavs.
Up to 298 games, so he's going to get there, which is a great thing. But, yep, you're right. There's opportunity for the Saints. Their contested footy numbers are good. The hit-out number is off the charts, so they've just got to take advantage of that. So there is a chance. The Carlton Footy Club have been absolutely superb in the first half. They lead by 28 points. We'll be back after the game to wrap up.
Competing's important. We're ready to go. Umpire Robert Finlay is going to bounce it on the Coles centre circle. And we're away with a perfect bounce. Hunter there as well. Down through traffic. Hunter a little uncertain what to do with it. I'd say just go forward. Jones does with the ball off the outside of the boot. Wiedering reads it well. Goes very wide. Looking for Honey, who fell over his own feet in the end. Tripped over the boundary line.
Paul, you up. And Jack.
We think this is a fitness test for Brad Hill, JB.
Key players in doubt for the second half. De Koning already gone. Fumble over.
Right in. Paul, you up. Thank you, Jack.
Concerns for Brent Ratton. They just have to keep winning.
Jack.
A good look at that before the match. Even if they win all four, they're not guaranteed of a spot. They drop one, it becomes very, very hard. Walsh. Dow absorbed the tackle. Cripps. Sada fumble. He gets around. Finds Kennedy.
Let go. Let go. Let go.
Tried to steer it for Curnow, broken up by Marshall. King, after kicking 3 in the first term, has been quiet. Got 2 to beat here. Plowman brings it away.
Come on.
Just on Murphy, Duck. How do you think he'd feel about being...
Clear the area, please.
About being the medical sub on his way to 300? Would that sit well with him?
Oh, look, it's probably not ideal, but I think he'd appreciate the fact that they're doing this for him to get to 300. No doubt about that. He was, remember, he was activated very early last week.
Yep.
So I guess they've decided to go that way again. He ideally would like to be playing starting on the ground.
Yeah, he deserves what they're doing for him. Could be the other way, of course. We know with Melbourne's Nathan Jones at the moment, he played 300, but I don't think we've seen him since, have we?
I think you might be right.
Zach Jones. Good handball from King. Jones again looking to get Burns. Walsh. A little paddle in the way. Boundaries his friend here. Williamson arrives with some sort of hope. Burns. Walsh. Sard. Cripps driven forward. Still got it away. Kennedy. Walsh to tidy up. Grabbed a couple more yards and a free to go with it. So it was well done.
Bring back. Not continuous.
Just got him high.
So that footy's going to come back.
Yeah. Time back on, stand.
Play on. You.
As Murphy just on the
Front
ground.
on contact, Carlton.
Front on contact, free kick.
Back here, Mark. Stand. Time back on, stand.
Sees Dow. Hits him with a nice ball. Dow goes in search of Mackay. Too big and too strong. Got 4 already.
And that's the difference in the game at the moment. Just their use of the footy, the Blues. Using it better. Good kick from Murphy
15 gone.
to allow him to play on.
Already got a nice break in the Coleman medal race.
10. Play on.
For number 5, for Harry Mackay. Yes, sir. Might just hold on.
Ball was over one before being touched.
We're not quite penciling it in yet.
Those balls can always drop short, JB, and there was no one on the line.
Review underway.
They had to get there late.
Not much need for that review.
And too late by the looks.
Unless it's hit the post. That would be the only thing they're looking at. And I don't think it has. Should be a fairly quick review, I would have thought.
Go through, Robbie. Go through. Review complete. Looking at this angle, we can see the ball is touched after crossing the back of the goal line. Decision on scoreboard.
So there's confirmation. Mackay has 5.
Clear.
Goals won. What a difference it makes.
There it is.
Harry Mackay with his 5th goal for the evening, but some more injury news, and this time from the Saints camp. It is Dougal Howard subbed out of the game with a hamstring, as you can see, heavily iced on the left side, and Cooper Sharman comes in, boys.
That's big for Charlie Curnow, who had Wilkie, who's doing quite a good job on Charlie in his first game back, but he now has to go back to Mackay.
So 57 goals from Mackay. That's the best anyone at Carlton's done since Favola back in 2009. It's a long way back. Brad Hill trying to keep things moving there. Hunter, Cripps, Kennedy, Silvani and Sard. Sard gives Walsh a bit of space. The chipping ball was just perfect. And
come on, Pat.
It's just starting to fall apart big time for the Saints now.
Thank you.
Dow with an opportunity to really do some damage and get it out to a 40-point lead. With a side like St Kilda that had finals to play for, to not be closer than 40 points is amazing. Dow kicks their 2nd goal of the turn.
You can't miss. 12-1.
It's good kicking.
Very disappointing for Brett Ratton. They'd really started to build something in the back half of this season, the Saints. The loss to Adelaide, a bit of an anomaly, but the rest has been good.
We're just going for a bit too much here in the centre bounce. You got the clear advantage. Try and work a 2-on-1 or own a certain area of the pie, as they say. Well, do you want to own the inside or the outside? Come up with a clear plan. Just going 1-on-1 in the centre bounce when you've got the clear advantage. If it doesn't go right, Carlton got you on the outside and Walsh made you pay.
We've had clear hit-out advantage, but it hasn't counted for much. And
holding, Carlton.
Going to get cleared against here again.
It's too easy for Carlton to defend that, even with the undersized ruckman. Everyone just takes a body, turns into a one-on-one contest.
14th possession of the night for Cripps.
Keep going, play on!
And the Blues go forward once more.
High contact, Carlton.
And a free kick is drawn.
Let it go.
Temper's starting to fray.
Let it go. Don't give away a free. Don't give away a 50.
Honey, ball in hand.
Let's go. Clear it out of the protected area, please.
7-0 from
Charlie,
set shots. And Honey hasn't kicked a goal in the big time.
15 gone. 5 metres behind. 15 gone. Clear.
Just game 3. He's been busy with goal assists. Can he kick one himself? Loves it. And they will get around him. Look at him come from everywhere. For Josh Honey.
Let it go. Don't give away another goal, okay?
There we go.
Let it go. Out you go.
Good moment.
Jimmy out.
Well done, bud.
And he's earned it after handing 3 off. That's cool.
She's got some colour in that hair, JB, hasn't he? So Honey able to kick the 3rd Carlton goal consecutively of the quarter and kick his 1st. And this now at 46 points. I've just got to say about the Saints, the heads have dropped significantly. To me, it almost looks like, I won't say they have raised the white flag, but it's getting some real close signs to looking like they have on the season. Here is Crouch. Let's see whether they've got any spirit or fight at all to get back into this. Hunter, let it go wide. Little handball back into Kent. Handball back to Steele. Gives it off to Butler. Butler into a little bit of space. Won't quite get there in the end. Butler again, right foot inside out, trying to work it back to goal. And that'll go out of bounds. Downstairs to you, Ab.
Yeah, BT, as we know, Tom de Koning was subbed out at half-time, and Teagues confirmed that he was grabbing at that pec, but as you can see here, he's got his backpack on, he is leaving the ground, so looks to be heading off for further assessment, whether it's to hospital or somewhere to get scans for further treatment.
Thanks, Abby. Locked in ball.
Well, you only leave the ground, JB, if you're worried medically, don't you?
There's Burns. Flicks it back for Higgins. And he can't keep it in. Normally it's off to get a scan, which you'd have to think is what's happening, but real concern now for Brett Ratton. Cannot afford slip-ups if they want to repeat finals performance. Finished 6th last year, won a final, of course. Big things predicted for the Saints. It hasn't worked to plan. And that short ball finds Stocker.
Back to the 9, please. Back to the 9. Thank you.
Hemmed in.
Move on. Play on.
Got O'Brien short. He instead goes to Curnow. Pretty good ball. It's broken out of his hands. O'Brien. Crouch. Nice. This is the emergency sub. Cooper Sharman. And he also hasn't kicked a goal in his very short AFL career. This is just game number 2.
15 gone.
From Woodville, West Torrens. So, what's he got from the set shot, the young man? Strikes it nicely. Jams it through. So 2 great moments at either end. Honey and now Sharman kicked their first in league footy.
Well, that was great to see the St Kilda players make sure they get across to the young man and congratulate him on his first, JB.
Well, they all know, don't they? It doesn't matter which game it is. They come from everywhere. It's good.
Which side you want to do?
Yeah, well done to Sharman for kicking the goal, but it's the ball use. We talked about their efficiency and how much they've put to the ball. Crouch just having a little bit of composure there, lowering the eyes. And you're right, it's a big moment. Second disposal and a goal now.
The best ball kicker, Jimmy, is probably Brad Hill. What have you made of his year this year, do you think?
I think they want to get it in his hands and get that overlap, but at the moment he's just getting it lateral or behind the guy who's won the mark or the free kick. He could just 2-3 metres away, so he's facing, facing their forward line. So
he can take actual yardage.
Yeah, take yardage with his feet, but then also the game in front. So become that metres game player and really break a line, make the opposition defence get really short.
Carlton. Straight back, beat you through it. You held him. Stand. Play on.
Cripps. Williamson. Nice ball in there towards Owies. Almost reeled it in. O'Brien sharked it out. Jones looking for the tackle. Just got rid of it. Martin fighting really hard. Caught in the one-arm tackle. Little handball comes to Hill. All he can do is retreat. The ball was on him. The tackle was on him almost at the same time.
Rowan.
Deep forward stoppage. Mackay. Owies just couldn't get boot to ball. Highmore, same can be said. Martin, Walsh for his third. Got it. 3 goals. One in each term for Sam Walsh. 3 in a game for the first time. Has he got a little sneaky look at a Brownlow, this bloke? This is his 3rd season.
Reckon he would have.
Others are mentioned before him, but geez, he's putting a body of work together.
Well, this goal just built off the back of pressure from the Blues. The tackling's been superb tonight. Much spoken about game last week in that 3rd quarter where it was just non-existent. Their tackling pressure against North Melbourne. What's been special tonight, I don't think a St Kilda player has broken a tackle. And Walsh, you mentioned whether he's in Brownlow contention. He's certainly won it. Most open we've had for a while, I reckon.
Kennedy in the ruck now for the Blues. Fisher. Dynamic. Mackay. Got a nudge and will get a free here, Mackay. So he'll line up directly in front. Just want to know from you guys. Your options are underachievers, overachievers or neutral. How you've seen both of these sides this year, Jimmy?
Both under for me.
Both under?
Yep.
Jimmy?
Both neutral. I feel like we talk about Carlton like they're a top 4 side when they're about where they should be. St Kilda, a lot of injuries have probably pulled them back from their 6th finish last year.
Mackay for half a dozen. Misses. So continue on with that, Jimmy.
Well, I think injuries haven't really got going. St Kilda this year, I think the opposition has worked them out from last year where they're a really good contested marking side. So the competition goes to work on you. So they've got to do a little bit of adjustment with their ball movement.
It's the Blues' first set shot miss of the night. And probably the easiest one they've had for the night. Billings.
Well, I think with Carlton, we've spoken about that. They need to improve a lot on their defensive system as a team. They've coughed up 100 points 8 times this year, and I think they keep getting beaten in the same manner. So you look at all the key stats, Wayne. Everyone's just average. They don't stand out in one particular area.
I guess with what St Kilda did last year with the players they brought in, and they all had really good years, and they played finals footy. We expected them to play finals footy again. They haven't done that for some of the reasons Jimmy mentioned. But I think their best has been really good, and we've seen tonight that massive gap and really, really poor. And the Blues, I had them in my 8 this year, Jimmy. I had them sneaking in on the talent they've got. I think they should be further up the ladder. And I know they're after tonight. If you look at the live ladder, Jimmy, they're only half a game outside.
Well, they won 7 last year. Well, no, they've won 7 this year, and I think they won 7 last year as well.
So you expect improvement.
Yeah.
But I mean, last week sort of highlighted, so the Blues in the same category as St Kilda, their best has been really competitive and really good. But then you get a game like last week against the bottom team, taking nothing away from the Kangaroos, but that's as poor as you'll see.
Williamson. Now Plowman. Inside of the boot, that's not going to work.
Stand.
Burns.
Play on.
Told to go. Does sideways.
Stand.
Hesitant to take ground. Clark.
Play on.
Had the player out near the boundary line. Let to go for Burns. Burns wins it nicely. Now Membry eyes off something deep forward here. Very long ball. Competing for the footy steal. Out the back. Butler tries to keep it alive. Might have been off the knee as he indicates that. Does Williamson.
Ruck, please. Carlton, ruck. Jack, you up? Thank you, Paul.
Jackie, you up? I bet we wish he could say no. I don't want to be.
Don't hold.
So Silvani it is against Hunter. The little drop ball there to Dunstan, who was on the move. And then Butler.
So interesting, that hit-out number. You talk to Luke Darcy, our great mate who played 200 games in the ruck, and he talks about how overrated hit-out stats are. And that's coming from a ruckman.
High contact.
Well, the ones
Carlton,
to the advantage. They're the
Carlton free kick. Jack.
There's a dangerous tackle element to that.
Out of it.
It's just eased into the ground.
Let it go.
I thought he was as careful as he could be there.
No doubt.
That's not a dangerous.
Wow.
A free kick for ruck in the contest, which free kick rucking contest there, which you shouldn't give away when you're a full-time ruckman against a part-timer. But you're right, it's hit out to advantage and score some stoppages.
17-3, the hit-outs to advantage. The Saints way in this game. Wide ball here for Kennedy. Can't get to him.
Mark. Stand.
And the mark taken by Ross.
And Carlton are leading that stat tonight. 5 goals to 3 goals. 2 from out of the centre bounce this quarter alone with Jack Silvani in the ruck.
Higgins reels and goes. Admittedly, King, who was really good early, he hasn't had much decent supply since to his defence. If he'd had any sort of decent supply, he would have continued on with it, I'm sure. Newman, Sard. So the Blues spreading here. They're all moving. Every one of them's wanting the footy. They're enjoying it. Sard to Walsh. Possession number 21 for him. Leads all possession getters on ground.
Going at 90%.
By foot. Very good. Charlie Curnow at the back door. Membry. Long, told to go across the ground. Just shortens it up a bit to Jones. And thought about Hill, but there's a man right on Hill now. Membry goes the long ball and finds out wide Steele.
Got Hill running for him. Decides to go to Ross instead. Now Hill gets his lick of the ice cream. The big long thumping handball. Butler just held in the tackle, and that turns the footy over. Jones for Fisher. Wilkie came at him. Now Zach Jones.
Stand. Play on.
To Steele. Runs himself into a bit of a dead end. Back to Hill. Hill lowers the eyes. That ball's touched Burns. Into the leading lane. Nice for Connolly. Leo Connolly.
That's your line.
Playing game number 6. And has shown some nice moves. Kicked 1 goal in his career, so we'll get a look at how he handles the set shot situation for St Kilda. Looks like he's dragged it left. He has, just to behind.
One of the young players, just 6 games under his belt. Leo Connolly. No one comes at Sard, so he's able to take plenty of ground here and hammer it on the head of Martin. Should Mark does.
Holding, St Kilda.
Jimmy Webster was appealing for that all along.
Held him so he can get to the contest. Time back on.
And Jack Martin's holding his hands, and I must admit I didn't see anything, but Jimmy Webster was certain that that was the case.
Just Curnow just trying to stop him from jumping into the back of Martin there.
Crouch, King wide, but he's got to beat 3. Got it offhand somehow. Put it into a nice spot. Danger ball here for the Blues. They spoil it to the ground here by Honey. Picked up in the end by Steele. Around the corner, misses. 45-point Carlton lead.
Saad thumping left foot gets through the hands of Martin. And then Webster just didn't look. Kicked it straight to Wiedering, who was all on his own.
They've done that a few times tonight where they've just kicked with no thought.
Kerno, Nunes. Silvani been good. Bounces it to Owies. Williamson, Dow just outside 50. Mackay wants it in hard and long, and it goes in that direction. They come back thumping onto him, Cripps. But Connolly's there.
Talk about efficiency. Carlton 1 goal from, I think it's 10 inside 50s, as against the Saints 4 goals from 5 inside 50s this quarter.
Membry went back really hard into Mackay that last contest.
Billings. Higgins. Long there, but Noon's able to get a hand on it and cut off that attack. Maybe front on contact then against Membry, but Membry did have his eyes set on winning the ball, didn't he? Steele, Jones, in tight little handball, finishes with Dunstan. Dunstan out in front of King, a little bit too far. O'Brien cuts it off.
To Wiedering, who would have been very jumpy early in this game. He had 3 kicked on him in the first 15 minutes after 7 last week. But he's come back nicely, Jacob Wiedering. O'Brien drills it to Walsh. They're happy just to square it around. Paddy Cripps, lots of uncontested possession.
That's just work great from Walsh. Just you sit here in awe and just see how far the ground that he covers is just enormous. Walsh.
Short ball for Saad, who thumps a long one. Charlie Curnow, not seen a heap of it. Highmore. And now Jones.
Short ball. Burns. Hill. Beautiful ball from Hill. Into Sharman. Now King's got a one-on-one there if he wants with Wiedering. The lead goes into the pocket. I think it might be Kent. It is, and it was punched away from him by Newman. Down to you, Abby.
Yeah, BT, just looking at Charlie Curnow and his return game tonight, he's coming up on 75% game time, the 4 disposals, as you can see. He kicked that great goal with all the players getting around him, but I don't think that they're looking at him to really light it up. I think they're looking at him to slot back in and get through the 4 quarters of footy.
I agree totally with you, Ab. As Ross just a bit of game time and just ease your way back in. There's no hurry for you to be the superstar that you were. Off hands it comes to Sharman. Sharman around the corner. And has a miss. You got anything to say about that, Jimmy?
It's been a good start. The scoreboard.
Stocker, that's the last score, so...
Jimmy and I have had a little bit of personal disagreement on the way that...
Picked up on that, BT.
Yes.
Long one from Stocker. Mackay has it thumped away from him. Crouch. Ross. Marshall wanted to give it to Hill, but he's pursued. Cripps has got a piece of Crouch, centre of the ground, holding the ball.
Genuine attempt. Straight back to him. Hold. Stand. Stand.
And that's 50 all day long. Kent just ran straight past.
That's a big Robbie.
He knew it as soon as he went past. He knew he was gone. And Paddy Cripps will get a set shot look from about 30 out to see there.
Bradley, push out.
Brad. And Kent.
Time back on Dean. Just push 2 metres, please. Stand, please, Jimmy. Got us out.
It's been that sort of night for the Saints.
15 gone.
To make it an even 50 points.
Here, Brad, towards me.
Paddy Cripps kicks the goal. How do you work out form in this competition? Carlton belted by the 18th ranked team last week. And if you can have a good loss, the Saints had it in the West to a very good opponent in the West Coast Eagles. Ran them to a kick and had a look at winning late. A week later, it's turned on its head.
Well, much talk about play out this week. Paddy Cripps, captain of this footy club, who's an absolute superstar. Some of it unwarranted, I think. Maybe not going as well as what he was in 2019, Jimmy, but still contributing a massive amount to this footy club. 3 last week and 20-plus disposals.
Those two guys there, 9 possessions and a goal each in this quarter.
Yeah.
Cripps and Walsh. Here he is again. You mentioned the Brownlow, JB. I don't think he's played badly in a game. I don't know how the umpires see it, but surely he's got to be in there figuring. Butler around the corner, straightens it up, and a sliding, diving Membry. 1 goal in the quarter, and that came from Sharman. And they're 50 points down here, the Saints. Sure to be a very disappointed fan base out there, and Brett Ratten and all involved would be disappointed with the way that this has drawn to a conclusion this year. Currently on 8 wins. The Saints in 12th position as Membry comes in and gets his first of the night.
There he is, Timmy Membry, the skunk. Been a very good player. 128th game. Former Sydney Swan, of course. They love him at St Kilda for good reason. So that's what the ladder looks like. Talk about the Saints just having a win. The Blues, TWS, Essendon, Richmond ahead of them. With games to play, it's going to be tough.
No one wants to play finals.
Well, not that 8th spot.
Not that 8th spot.
It's just sitting there, isn't it? Marshall will continue the dominance, and down now to Crouch. Goes wide, looking for Kent, who drags a high contact
Back
free.
2 metres. Time back on, stand. Play on. You.
He goes long. King caught in the front, almost reeled it in. Wiedering then wrapped up.
By ball. Come on. Thank you. Hands up, please.
And a ball off.
Racks. Jack you up. Go you up. Hold the meter.
Can the Saints conjure up something here? Butler was on the run. Little loopy kick off the ground. Sard reckons it's touched.
Just leave it there, mate. Look at this. Thanks.
Lever's behind. Can we confirm the ball was touched?
Sure. Score review. Umpire's call is it behind. Can you please confirm?
Review underway.
Sard appealed immediately, so I assume that's what we're looking at here with the finger.
I think it came off his
Max King. Does it hit Max King on the way through?
Yep.
Yes, it does. Good.
Okay, let's go. Let him work it out. That's cool.
Get Jimmy.
Yeah.
I think it does. Good thinking by Butler to just almost sandwich it off the ground with their slipper.
Review complete. Looking at this angle, we can see the ball makes contact with the St Kilda player's left hand before crossing the back of the goal line. Decision on scoreboard.
You got the little finger, didn't it?
Wait, wait.
So
wait.
that'll be a behind.
Wait. Wait.
43 points. And Saad to let it go here in the final 30 seconds of the quarter.
Booming left foot Saad. Marshall tried to go back with the flat. Silvani gave it to Ross. Bounces to 50. Overrepresented here, the Blues. Cripps has got about 4 to beat in the air and got held out of it.
Guys, come on.
Let him up, let him get the ball. Throw right out, let him get the ball. Back here now, right now. Stand, please.
And the siren sounds. It's a big 43-point three-quarter time lead to the Carlton Footy Club.
Know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money.
Check out Ladbrokes' new punter assist features now available, like the all-new curfew, allowing you to take control of when you bet, giving you all the tools you need to stay in control.
Count your money when you're sitting on the table.
Don't chase your losses, walk away, gamble responsibly.
Come on, get yourself something new. Do you think so? You'll love it. Put yourself first for a change. I guess.
Same age, same income, same starting balance. Whether Lucy switched to an industry super fund 5, 10 or 15 years ago, she's been better off. Compare the pair.
It's not too late, Soph.
Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
Sometimes you need a fold, one to keep your eyes open, keep you on your toes. You know the ones that want to keep you where you've been before. But I can't go, no I can't go. Sometimes you need a friend, you know the ones that lend their hand and want to see you win.
He fights for every inch. Toyota made sure his equipment does the same. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
One of the greatest decades of footy served up the greatest point ever kicked. And sparked a rivalry for the ages. Retro Round on Fox Footy.
Whoa, really?
Justice Society of America. We can't quit.
Bring it on.
New DC returns in August on Fox 8 or watch on demand.
They put a plan together to make a lot of money. The way to make a lot of money was through drugs.
In the mob, you cannot sell drugs. You're violating the principles of our organization.
He had his own rules, his own ways of doing things.
What he did might be wrong, but he excelled in it.
With unseen footage, uncover the true story of the American Mafia's role in the rise of the drug trade. Narco Wars, The Mob, starts August 10, new to National Geographic.
Mate, it is sweet being a hunter. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. Simply lovely.
Oh, what a race, man.
The greatest voices ever are coming to The Voice Sunday after the Olympics on 7.
Time for the Carlton draft pot shot, and I reckon Sam Walsh deserves to go in tonight. 3 goals, all had a degree of difficulty about them, and all had hard work about them. Sam Walsh, Carlton draft pot shot. Brilliant stuff. He has been a workhorse tonight with 24 touches. Quarter time scores, Carlton by 43, 15-2, 92 to 7-7, 49. Abby.
Yeah, thanks, BT. Plenty to unpack on the injury front, and I'll start from the St Kilda camp. We saw Dougal Howard subbed out with a left hamstring injury, which saw Cooper Sharman come into the game. He was able to hit the scoreboard and impact straight away was Cooper, which is always nice to see from your medical subs. And it's been interesting to watch the ruck situation for the Blues after Tom De Koning was subbed out and seemingly left the ground for scans earlier. We've seen Silvani, we've seen Cripps, we've seen Kennedy in the ruck for Carlton. They've understandably gone down in the hit-out count, but they're doing well and going to work straight after. Really strong from clearance and effective in their forward ball movement. So they've been able to cover the De Koning loss as well as they possibly can, BT.
Thanks, Abby. Yep, we got Jack Silvani. Pinch hitting last week, now permanent.
I wonder what he thinks about it.
Cannot be happy.
He's got the old ruckman shin guard on as well, JB.
194 centimetres up against Big Rowan, who's 201.
Wouldn't be a pleasant task.
Not permanently.
No, if you're undersized and you don't know a lot about the craft.
Sean Grigg just snuck in there every now and then, but not one after another.
But he had time to practice it, JB.
Final term underway. And again, Marshall extends high, but again, first hand goes to the Blues. Dow taken in a tackle, little releasing handball, the follow-up from Silvani. And now we'll have a ball up 50 from home for the Blues. Held in for Kennedy. Ball up again.
Their midfield grouping has just been excellent tonight. They've won a lot of the footy, but they've used it really well and hit the scoreboard. Kicked 7 goals, their midfield group, which is just absolutely excellent.
Zach Jones, little handball, almost a push in the back there. I think will go Higgins' way.
Their smalls have been quiet tonight for the Saints, haven't they? Especially their goal-kicking smalls.
Yeah, they have, but we've spoken about it.
Slope King. It's a throw.
Holding the ball, it's a throw.
Sorry, BT. Yeah, they have, but it's been their efficiency. So, you know, they've won some of the footy, but just all under 50% with their kicking, which is just not good enough.
Newman, what about the Blues? They've only debuted 1 player this year, the least of any in the league. They've played a total of 36 players. Is there anything to be concerned in that, do you think?
They've had a few injuries this year, but they've got guys who have got 10, 20 games, so they've been able to put games into younger players, but they've had injuries like most clubs.
Marshall. Good smother by Silvani. Kennedy. Martin. Around the corner. Charlie Curnow, I think that was. Working it forward.
I mean, they need guys like Martin and Dow and these guys to just have standout years, BT. They need them to have career best years.
Did a full year at a Martin Williams, who's had his hamstring issues. Can McGovern fit back into this side?
Ball works its way to the back of Nunes. Edging it inside 50. Ross. Steele. Highmore. He goes back to Marshall. They can get some overlap running going here, although Hill dispossessed and gone.
And they're the silly handballs that they're giving to Hill just for the sake of it. They've clearly been told to give it to him, BT, but
let go, please.
That's happened on at least 5, 6, 7 times tonight where he's been hot and they've given it to him anyway.
Williamson will end up with this ball.
Clear the area, please.
Back behind, Adam.
And that's the sustainable footy you want to see from Carlton. They're talented enough to play this style, that high forward press, scores off turnover, kicked 10 goals straight off the turnover tonight.
15-2 on the night, so they've been incredibly accurate, full stop, let alone from set shots. From long range, runs off the line and then bang, right through the middle. Second on the night for Williamson. Really good strike. 16-2.
So, boys, does this result have any effect on David Teague's future? And with all that's happened today as well, put into the mix with Clarkson, where do you think it's going?
Oh, look, it does. I said before tonight's game, you'll find out whether he's lost the players or not. And off the back, I watched them last week, BT, and they looked, the effort just wasn't there. So I was thinking, has he lost this group? Well, after tonight, there's been a response, and it's been emphatic, the response. And the way they've gone about it, you've got to be impressed. It's that tackling pressure, not just their mids kicking goals and playing a good brand.
So after tonight, they will have won 4 of their last 6, which is really good. I'll come back to it in a moment. Mark here taken in the forward half by Sharman as he lines up for goal.
Well, he hasn't lost the group. That's what they've proven to me tonight.
What about in the mix, the Clarkson situation? Does that make any difference to a decision?
Unfortunately for any coach out there, if Clarkson puts his hand up, he'll get the job.
Sharman from 48 metres. Jimmy, are you of similar thoughts?
Well, it seems like any club that is struggling or doesn't make finals, everyone just says go get Clarkson, even when he was coach of Hawthorn. Now he's on the open market.
Well, he's on the open market now, Jim, and it makes a big difference.
Yeah, but we've been talking about Clarkson every single time, so I think it just heightens it.
Newman, long and wide, good mark, good stretch from Mackay.
If you were sitting on the board at Carlton, would you be thinking about it?
I'm glad I'm not.
Already on a board, Jimmy, as it's Murphy who's ripped in a big tackle.
I reckon there'd be quite a number of clubs that'll be making that phone call to Alex Clarkson.
Rowan, straight back.
Carlton will be one of them.
Board members have a tendency to get jittery. Jimmy.
Dow, nicely done, walk through. Kick smothered. Owies. Can Mackay add to his haul? He bounces it, but only just as far as Seb Ross, who parked himself very deep and saves the day for the Saints. Burns. Shins that straight to Cripps. Curnow. Fisher can pound it on the left. Runs himself into a dead end. He goes to Kennedy. Not a great ball from Kennedy. And the umpire watches closely and then
my ball
wants to ball it up.
Okay.
So are you...
Jack, Rowan, straight back.
That's inconsistency there. Carlton with their pressure.
Murphy. Tackled down there by Still. Billings. Crouch backed up. Sharman through traffic, did it well to Hill. Linking up with Jones. Little sideways ball again. St Kilda, beautiful play. A rare time other than the first quarter tonight. King will line up for his 4th. 3 in the first quarter. And that's the best presentation he's had since the first quarter. Good separation with he and Jones. So to get it back to 43 points from about 35 metres. And looks pretty good. No problems at all. He kicks 4 for the night. Carlton by 43.
King with 4. Mackay with 5. So they've brought enough, the two big spearheads. So Mackay's had more mates. 4 of the 8 have gone to that man on screen.
So, gents, with the Carlton review handed in, not being publicly disclosed yet, you think it'll find that continue on as we are? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, you'd think so. David Teague's only been at the helm for 3 years, so he does have time on his side. We mentioned, I think a number of individuals have gotten better this year for Carlton. We'll probably have 3 in the All-Australian team. They just need to find a way to put people around David Teague to, as we've mentioned, get that, I guess, team unit playing team defence.
I mean,
O'Brien has it belted out of his hands.
Been excellent tonight in the team defence. Like defending high, scores off turnovers. They look well settled down back tonight, but it's just being able to do that week in, week out.
O'Brien just sits it to about 25 out. And a good mark taken by Honey. Been a good addition. Just playing game number 3 as Hunter Clark goes down the race. Got one already, Josh Honey.
That's a lie.
What I like about that, JB, is his desire to want the footy. So Harry Mackay led, and then he realised he was under it, and he said, no, I want to be the target here.
He's got the dad's shag pole working there, isn't he?
For his second set shot, and that's a beauty. Got 2 of the night.
All clear.
17 goals, 2, if you don't mind the Blues. That is a good return for young Josh Honey.
This is Hunter Clark back quite a few weeks ago, and this is why he missed so much football, that contact with David Mackay there, and broke his jaw. And we see a little bit of contact here. We hope that just the tip of the shoulder there, hope that hasn't re-injured that jaw, but it does look awfully close, doesn't it? Back to the middle we go. Marshall, 49-point Carlton lead. And just one final word on the coaching. Carlton have destroyed some famous coaches in Malthouse and Hagan, some absolute legends. So getting a great coach like Clarkson, there is no guarantees that it's going to work.
That is true.
Murphy wrapped up by Ross. Struggles free in the end, but I'm not sure he disposed of it correctly. Knocked out in the tackle, I'm presuming the umpire said there. Connolly taken away. Dunstan. Little handball to nowhere. Curnow bangs it back inside. Handball from Nunes. Fisher on his left. Gives it off here. Caught in the tackle. I think it was Kennedy. Dragged to the ground.
Steele, quick release.
Stand.
Drops it over the top. Shows a lot of it to Nunes. Stocker. Back to Silvani. Gets past him. Ed Curnow.
Incorrect disposal.
It's a free kick to the Saints. Steele gets it from Marshall. He can go sideways. Billings. Hill. Game opening right up now. Hill can go inside. Membry in good marking shape. Had 2 or 3 looks at it. And we'll get a free.
Came from front on, high contact.
As Kennedy limps off.
Thanks.
High attrition in this
Clear
game.
protected area, please.
Tim. Push right out. Jack.
Familiar double foot jump
Zach.
of Tim Membry. Stocker it might have been who came in late and impacted high.
A little unlucky, wasn't he?
That's what's ahead of Tim Membry. Normally does this pretty well. And that's good. So Membry gets his second. The Blues, the Saints get their 9th. They're still a long way back in this game.
Let's take it. Straight back.
Well, Billings finds Hill here, and this is where we like to see him up past the logos, the middle of the ground, facing his towards goal for the Saints. You take that territory. He's a good ball user and decision maker, kicking the ball inside forward 50. That's where he's at his most dangerous, not receiving that stationary handball across half-back.
Good job, Brad Hill. Hunter. Speed coming in here with Honey. Cripps fends off Dunstan. And now nurses the kick to Mackay. Play on, says the umpire. Wilkie was a little unsure, I've got to add. Ross to Dunstan, able to shake the tackle. Bit of a side-winding kick. Jones electing to just push the ball forward. Handball by Higgins. Butler involved as well. Went without it there, Dow. Stepped out of the way. In there was Sharman. Higgins defends well. Fires off the handball to Hill. Didn't even think about the goal. Very selflessly into a good position. And I think it's Billings that's taken the mark. Good stuff from the Saints.
It's one of the few times I reckon they've been able to break a couple of Carlton's tackles. Had a couple of opportunities there and got through.
Great kick by Hill on his non-preferred, been involved in score assists in the last 2. And Billings has missed.
So lots of talk about Carlton for obvious reasons. Jimmy and Duck have had a very public review, and that's been handed in. So we see that thumped away from Walsh. Membry getting busy. Handball now to Butler, who gets taken over. What about the Saints? They've got lots of supporters. A couple of very high-profile ones we know, who watch them closely. But are they savage on this season? Are they going to savagely review where things have gone wrong, or are they going to be accepting a bit?
You would have thought so. We've had a little bit of mixed messaging out of there, haven't we? Even from the president early in the year saying, well, I didn't really expect to play finals footy this year, which I found astounding, given they played the year before.
And won a final as it gets to the back, and Jones. So to finish 6th after beating the Western Bulldogs.
Carlton, downfield.
They're long odds to play finals this year. And you have to say that's a disappointing result.
Yeah, and they've had some reasons. They have had a lot of injuries for part of the season, but once again, I still think that it's a fail for them this year, the Saints, for mine.
Jones at half-back. Always wanted in the hands of Hill. Loping to Membry, half-forward.
What do they need, Duck? Is there something that's obvious? Give you a moment here while they go forward to think there. Steele's got the footy here now at half-forward. Is there something they need to fill?
I think you always need a couple more mids that can go through.
Still a high ball. Higgins.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Another key defender, I reckon, would be really handy.
He's going to play on and kick it around the corner is Jack, and he kicks it straight through the middle. No problems at all from that little man. Consecutive goals here from the Saints. For the first time since the first quarter, back to a 36-point margin.
Coach watching the stat sheet, you'd think, and that's what it looks like now.
I think.
Yeah. Sorry, PT. Just to finish off you were saying before, I think another key back, as Wayne was saying, the big boys have gotten hold of them at different stages. You add back Gresham into that side. Patton, I think, was a big loss at the start of the year. He was your small defender who just put away the opposition, which allows those attacking defenders to go about their business. But I think Webster's been good for him this year. But yeah, another mid-type that can hit the scoreboard.
Embry, Marks 45 from home. Just looking at that live ladder, not only are they back on wins, but now their percentage has dipped a long way down too. So it'll be very, very tough for the Saints.
And if you get a fit Ryder and Marshall for a full season, we know the numbers when those two played in the same side, they go up 65%.
Embry to kick his third. Looks to have made good contact. That is a sweet set shot. 3 in a row for the Saints, and 3 on the board for Timmy Membry.
Well, that's something that I think he had a little patch there, JB, in his career where he had the yips, but generally been a really good set shotter, Cole, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. I'm going to say something that, well, look, they're 30 points down. There's 7 minutes. If they get the next one in the next minute, Jimmy, it's back on here.
Yeah.
It's 30 points, Jimmy, and there's 7 minutes left. If they get the next one quickly, there's Charlie Curnow on the sidelines. They'd be happy if he just gets through. Mark Murphy there as well as the sub who's been activated. So what have the Saints got? They've kicked the last 3, as JB alluded to. Marshall has given them first use in the middle through Dunstan and Jones, and here they come. Jones, a high long ball. Steele is there. Off the back it comes. Higgins has got a clear path ball. Went through the legs of Sard. Noons gave it. Jones had to. Walsh. Ed Curnow. Look at the pressure coming from the Saints now. Just mounting the mini challenge. Crouch. Steele. Got her on here. Burns. 45. Had a shot. Didn't make great connection. But Higgins is marked. Jimmy, if they kick the next one, it's on. Higgins is going to play on and lessen the angle to Billings.
Gee, boy. Not sure why Higgins would go back there. Similar angle further out.
Left footer maybe, Duck.
Lack of confidence. Well, not from Higgins. So here is Billings. It's a must kick for any chance. Plays on and he pulls it.
What they have started to do, the Blues, is just concede to Marshall in the middle. The ruckman's just staying on the ground. So can they calm things down a little here, the Blues?
Bring it in. Play on.
Wiedering. Long ball. Long can float in, but unable to complete the mark. Cripps, Walsh, Curnow. Not much on for him, just got to go long and hope. Might have been out when he kicked it. Ed Curnow, so it's going to come back.
Rowan. Jack, hold the meter, please, Rowan.
50th time the two brothers have played together.
Hold the meter, guys.
And they'll be very happy, the Blues, to get Charlie through. Such a long road back for him. Work down. There's Ed. Might have been ripped high, no free. Walsh. Hands and knees and instantly claimed.
Just got the figures on Charlie Curnow. He's played 80% of game time so far.
Jack.
And he's coming on for another spell. Great to see him back. Marshall, Cripps, Ed Curnow. If he was there, good handball by Burns. Steele and Ross combined, still purposefully wanting to go forward here. The Saints, they do now. Membry. Crouch front and centre. Membry ducks underneath this, tries to work it out and dragged it back, and he'll need to get rid of it now. Comes out the back almost rugby style. Cripps wins the free, and Hunter Clark back sitting on the bench, but doesn't look like he's going to take any further part with Jimmy Webster putting the jacket on him.
Yep, headband gone too, so that's him done for the night. Cripps, 25th possession for him. Mackay He's taken under the footy a little. Murphy with the one hand. Steele floats it forward. And Wiedering did well. Got in front of King.
Behind the mark, Jacob. Thank you. Stand. Stand.
4.5 left. And that little steadiness the Blues needed has arrived.
Stand.
After the Saints rattled 3 on them. Ed Curnow, a little measuring one that missed not only Walsh, but
back
the
2
whole
minutes,
ground.
Back 2. Play on.
So here they go again. The Saints down to 4 minutes and Wiedering.
Stand.
Concedes backwards to Newman, but Newman's got a bit of time and space. Just chisels the ball to O'Brien. Goes down the line and finds Williamson. Game 40 for him. So as you say, Jimmy, earlier, a lot of these Carlton players getting the 30, 40, 50 games into them.
It's good for Williamson too. He had a lot of back issues there for a while. He was just starting to take off and had the back injuries. Nice running half-back wing type.
When you watch guys like Honey, we know Dow's been around for a little while, but why haven't Honey, Dow and these guys played more footy this year? They've missed games, have been dropped at different, well, not Honey, obviously. But
and they've played 36 players and they've still missed quite a bit.
O'Brien's the other one that hasn't played more. Why haven't they played more?
There is O'Brien. It's a good question. I'm not sure of the answer.
Marshall worried out of it. There is O'Brien and absorbs some body heat from Steele.
White ball. What's that?
Jacob, Max, referee's okay, I'm watching.
Rowan, Jack.
He and Paddy Dow taken in the same draft, both from the same school, Geelong Grammar. Little fumble from Crouch. Fisher thumps it forward. Cripps taken in the high Moore tackle.
Done well here, Carlton. St Kilda had all the momentum, and BT, you thought they were coming, but they've been able to sat 4 to 5 minutes just out of this game with stoppage after stoppage.
They've done well.
Especially when you consider they haven't had a ruckman for pretty much the whole night. De Koning gone pretty early in this game as Murphy was taken out of it. Kennedy tried to loop it to Cripps, who's been busy. There's O'Brien. And I reckon it's a hold on Mackay.
Okay, see
He already has 5.
That's all I can pay. Okay, Maxi.
And he's got a nice lead in the Coleman. And this obviously to extend it.
Thanks, Harry.
Just a bit big for Wilkie there, with Dougal Howard missing most of this game. It's been a bit of a mismatch there.
To make it a 12-goal lead in the Coleman, he has missed. He's had a couple of really good looks at a 6.
Stop, wait for the signal.
Missed them both.
Yep, he has.
Okay, down.
He'd be disappointed. Connolly.
Stand.
To Ross.
Stand. Play on.
And back to Connolly.
You handle.
Spin out of trouble. Dunstan through the middle. Launches a high ball, not to the advantage of his team. Plowman flew off hands Membry to Butler. Back to Membry now. Sort of a lowish ball that Williamson cuts off, and he sees something he likes on the outlet, but he missed the intended kick and allows Connolly to tidy it up, and his handball missed the Butler target.
He's made a couple of mistakes, Connolly, but I really like him, won't he? He's got a bit of spunk the way he plays across half-back. He tries to take the game forward at every opportunity, whether dance around someone or he's got the head up looking to make things happen.
Marshall with the one hand. Walsh tried to power his way through. Steele. King. Front and centre. Gave it to Sharman, got it back. All the way back to Long. Connolly now. Push out, surely Higgins.
Pushing back.
And it's Sharman who's taken the mark.
So Mark will push in the back, so... Mark.
Jack Higgins saying, well, which one is it? Because if it's a push in the back, it's my kick. Sharman goes back and slots his second. The medical subs kicked a couple.
It's an interesting question, but the umpire almost gave them the choice there. Care factor 0. Sharman's got a couple as a result.
Given that Jack's giving his away when he has a shot, probably the right choice.
Yes. So Connolly sets this up. Higgins definitely got the push and the mark. They probably happened simultaneously, although the push in the back was first. So right guy got it in the end, I think. And he did. What about Patrick Cripps? We know that Walsh has had a great year. Duck is out of the middle. The Saints come again. They've kicked 4 in a row. Noons feeds the ball wide to O'Brien. On to Martin here. Martin marching forward with a wide ball. Got it to Honey, stops, props, round the corner, Honey. He's had a very good night. Missed. What about Cripps? You know, we know that Walsh has had an excellent year. Has Cripps had an excellent year?
Like all good players, he's a victim of his standard that he set. So has he reached his best standard? No. Has he been solid? Yes.
Martin handball inside 50. They can finish through Murphy here with some icing on the cake for the Blues. He slots it. And it's been an impressive win for this famous club.
Yes, a big win for the Blues. 31 points down to you, Av.
Yeah, thanks, BT. I'm here with Paddy Cripps. Congratulations, Paddy. You're back on the winners list with a very impressive win here tonight. How proud are you of all the efforts of the boys involved?
Yeah, it was good. Like, we set the tone early with that pressure, and look, we got challenged hard throughout the week, and we deserved it. But you know, good teams respond, and we're on the climb to be a really good team, and we believe that. And the key is in weeks like that, you review hard, but you stick together and you create energy, and we did that, so really proud of the boys.
You definitely have done that tonight, but you lost big Tommy de Koning after quarter time. We saw yourself, we saw Silvani, we saw Kennedy all providing a chop out in the ruck. How proud are you of your midfield just to really dig deep and get the ball moving forward off those hit outs?
Yeah, it was great. Big TDK, he's been really good for us the last few weeks. He's grown in confidence, and you can see the belief in him around the club. Like, he's got a bit of a strut about him now, which you want ruckmans to do. He's pretty big and physical, but to Sauce's credit in the ruck, like, he just competes. That's why we love playing with him. But we knew we had to really lock away their midfield. They were getting first use, but we had the ball to hit the ground, and I thought work at ground level and I pressure, set the game up.
And Harry Mackay, he was sensational with 5 goals, but I want to ask you about Charlie Curnow as well. How nice is it to see these two side by side? Blues fans have waited a very long time to see them.
I think we all have. It was just so good this first centre bounce. You see the big boys just straight into the square. It's Harry's had an amazing year. Charlie's he's had a rough 2 years, and everyone loves him around the club because he brings so much energy. And when he kicked that goal and the boys to get around him, you could see how happy he was. But just for all of us to see get around him and bring that energy to him. So it's good now we've got the weekend off, but we've got 3 games to go. We've got to finish strong.
Yeah, we're so very happy to see him back out there running around. But congratulations, Paddy, a brilliant performance by all.
No, thanks. Cheers, Harry. Thank you.
Thank you.
Paddy Cripps, I would love, because he's a warrior duck and he'll never lean into the excuse bag, but you'd love to privately just say to him, what is the percentage of your body over the last 6 weeks? Where is it at?
One of the first times I've seen him not strapped up like a racehorse tonight. I mean, he had no strapping on those knees, but Look, like I said, I honestly think he's been pretty solid this year. He hasn't reached that absolute level. I don't think he's covering the ground. That's been spoken about at length. But like you said, we don't know.
Oh, exactly.
We did hear earlier in the year that he had some ailments, but how serious or how much they're still affecting him, we don't know.
Do tell you what, Hunter Clark there, while you guys were talking about that, I had the glass on in. He looks as white as a ghost. Teammates are consoling him. He's just come back from a broken jaw. I don't think it's good news for him, JB, just looking at those pictures.
That is not good. He's a very talented young player, Hunter Clark, and we need all of them playing the game, so we'll keep an eye on him.
So Carlton have won 4 of their last 6 losses to Geelong and North, JB. They've got Gold Coast, Port and GWS to finish their year. Be a strong second half of the year if they could finish with 2 more wins out of those 3 games at least, wouldn't it?
Well, a very good response from the Carlton Football Club after a terribly disappointing performance last week. 31 points the margin in the end, and comprehensive. That margin is flattering to St Kilda, make no mistake about that. They banged on 5 goals in the last quarter, got back to 24 at one stage. Mark Murphy kicks the last one of the game, 31 points. Comprehensive victory, Johnny Brown and Nick Revolt. And, well, when you're looking for a response, we know the pressure that David Teague's under, we know the pressure the football club's under. I think it's pretty emphatic tonight, and that's without mentioning St Kilda, and they will now suffer some similar heat.
Absolutely. When they've had the opportunity, St Kilda, they've failed the test this year to jump into that top 8. But well done to Carlton for bouncing back. The heat was well and truly on them and obviously on David Teague. So they responded to their coach, and that's a good sign for David Teague. That emotionally he was able to get them up, Gaz. So you can say they were playing for him tonight.
Yeah, it is just this whole review when you're doing it mid-season. It's prone to some ups and downs, Nick Revolt. This week, as opposed to last week, they're all pretty happy with the coach.
Yeah, you would like to think, though, the review was going to be able to withstand, 1 week of worth of performances.
Good or bad.
Good or bad, absolutely. Because otherwise you're only really getting fingernail deep.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Man, good game. Alright, here's what we're gonna do, guys. Ignore that. First, I know I said I was gonna be playing some Fortnite, but I don't have. Let me tell you right now, guys. I do not have enough energy right now. I can talk to play on Fortnite and talk and that, but I just I fell asleep, but I didn't. I was still awake, but I was asleep, but I was still awake though. But I could still hear anything while I was sleeping. So, I want to go ahead and I'm not gonna go to sleep fully and then wake up way later. So the video will still be up in about an hour or so, an hour, 2 hours. Cause I have taekwondo in the morning, stuff like that. So I didn't sleep well last night. So I'm gonna end it here. And do not worry, guys. We'll be streaming footy again tomorrow. All the stuff will be in the description down below. If you guys want to follow me, just remind you guys. I streamed while I was sick, okay? But it's alright though. Talking to from my headphone from my computer, stuff like that. Yeah, and I just don't have enough energy, and I think my looking around, my head is my eyes are spinny, dizzy and that, but I should be alright tomorrow. There'll still be plans. We'll be streaming it tomorrow. Essendon, Carlton, no, Essendon and Sydney. But man, GG's. So surprised that Carlton won. And if I wasn't that sick, guys, I would have just played Fortnite. But I not put I stream Fortnite, you know. But yeah, I might as well just take it easy today. Maybe end the stream early. Maybe try to have a nap for at least an hour or two, and then wake up, upload my video. Alright. That is gonna be it. I'm gonna be tweeting out the M streams. That will like take me like I'm just gonna do that like whenever I'm feeling okay. Like I usually do that when I'm feeling better, but I won't do it today, the end stream. But I'm gonna end it here. And make sure you guys watch my previous video yesterday before my new video come out. And yeah, everything good here on my. Okay, there we go. Alright, there we go. Alright, I'm gonna end the stream here. I appreciate everyone stopping by the stream. See you all tomorrow. Stream will be scheduled tomorrow, like at 4 o'clock or so. But yeah, until then, everyone, take care. Talk soon, and make sure you guys have notifications turned on, so you don't miss any streams. And if you want to see the game tomorrow. Alright, have a good one. And yeah, stay safe, everyone. Take care. Talk soon, and goodbye.